Am I live? Do not check on that tab. That is not the right tab. Need like a separate tab here for my own crap. Go to my channel. Dog's on my arm. Live. Do not check on that tab. All right. Streaming for once in my life. Hello. How's the music level for you guys? Hello, Grinkle Corin. Hello, I cannot pronounce any. I'm going to call you C because that's the first letter of your user tag, but I cannot pronounce linguistically anything in there. How's the music level? Is it, can you guys hear anything or? Yeah, we got 7 viewers. Holy shit. Honestly, I expected like 1. Which is good. Or fine. My dog is sleeping right on my arm. She's just laying there. So, how's it going, people? My name is Dollywop. For once, it is not my lovely avatar. It is my face, if only because I'm lazy and really did this at the last minute, so I didn't. In the future, I want to get like one of those little VTuber models of my little guy that I can make. But for now, we're doing face cam. Also, my face is out there, so, you know, it's fine. Hello, Jabir. Hello, Showboy. Showboy. Damn, we're up to 11. Holy shit. This is the most I've streamed before in the past, back when I was trying to be an animator, and I've got like 2-3 viewers and stuff. So this is holy crap to me. So I'm glad, but we're almost at 3,000 subs, which is pretty good. Nocturnal. Yep, just make sure I read that. Nocturnal Donut, how's it going? I'm gonna crank the music up a little. Gun Mental Gator, Poke Simon. Everyone's turning out today. I'm happy to do so. Today, you guys get a little insight. Actually, I'm really glad we have viewers here because the thing we're doing today is I'm going over my teams from the Pokemon Teams Redone series, the Ash Teams Redone series, the ATR, as I like to call it, because everything needs to be a connected universe. Where's my OBS? Oh, wow, that's not even playing my music, so I'm just hearing it. I'll be back soon. You got it, see? Feel free, yeah, like I said, you know, anyone who wants to pop in and out will be here for a hot minute. Let's see, is that showing up on OBS? There we go. I can lower this to my own ears because I don't need to hear it. Sometimes it's hard for me to think and do this at the same time. But yeah, so I wanted to do this stream because today what I'm going to be doing is going over the teams of the video. Because if you have paid attention to my community tabs at all, recently I've been talking about this video and how I'm going to... I posted the question to you all. Deshaun Edwards, how's it going? Always seeing your comments in my my videos. But so on my community tab, I posed the question of, did you guys think, should I mix my ATR teams, my Ash Teams Redone teams, with some of his canon Pokemon? And it's my own fault because I didn't really clarify this. Mix has kind of a connotation of half and half. And what really I wanted to pose with that was, do you guys, you know, should I, what's the question? Like, basically, it's less of a, we're going to take Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charizard and put them on the Kanto team, and more of a, hey, Gastrodon doesn't really fit. Can we throw Buizel on the team? Or, like, you know, man, Primeape would go pretty good on Ash's Kanto team, so I'm going to throw that in instead of Farfetch. Kind of things along those lines, rather than, oh, I'm just going to take majority of his Pokemon and throw them on there. That's not to say every Pokemon from his current team or his canon team wouldn't, you know, like, not to say that everyone from his from the canon team wouldn't be a good pick. Like, there's certain ones where I'm like, I think I'd throw them back on there. One of which is Greninja. I don't think I've made it secret there. Ash Chestnut was cool, but it was only there because I couldn't use Ash Greninja, you know? It's certain things like that. Ash Greninja is probably the highest form and example of a Pokemon that is sort of really integral to the plot that I throw on there. Because the goal with this is, even if I throw a canon Pokemon to the team, I want to change their story to adjust for the video. Because ultimately, the goal with this story video isn't, I'm just going to, you can basically watch through the anime and we just substitute Bulbasaur. Oh, no, sorry, Tangela's there. And Squirtle, we're going to throw, Psyduck there. So it's kind of, I'm actually going to be applying stories for this, you know, maybe a mix from the manga, maybe a mix from the games, but I'm going to change it up because as we, you know, if you've watched the Pokemon anime, it's not much of an anime as it is a commercial. You know, and that's what it's supposed to be. Also, hi, Danny. Hi, Starstruck no Hime. Welcome to the stream. I'm a very chatty and scatterbrained person, so I'll pause from time to time. And man, wow, first time I've streamed in a while, so this is all new to me. I got water ready for this, and my dog is making my arm fall asleep. But ultimately, as you see on screen here, I have listed out, I have my ATR team, which consists of Beedrill, Tangela, Farfetch'd, Magmar, and Rhydon. And we have the canon Pokemon, which is, these are all the Kanto Pokemon that Ash has caught. Also got added in Snorlax. Right now, I'm just thinking Kanto. I'm not thinking Orange Islands at all. I'm still debating with myself whether Orange Islands and Battle Frontier would be their own separate videos. Spoiler alert, when I do these videos, each region will be its own separate video. And that's for, I mean, that's so I can actually give all these, you know, videos a, like the proper love they deserve. Cats47, how's it going? And so, dog, you want to get on my lap so I can sit up straighter? Oh, thank God, my arm's free. A lot of ums for me, by the way. I'm gonna adjust myself for my camera. Sit up in my chair, take this blanket off. So, and by the way, we won't just be discussing, team videos here. There is something I almost made a video on today that I think I would love to post to you guys. Because there's creating a Pokemon story for the anime that's still sticks to basically as if it was the anime, as if like Pokemon was putting this out today. And then there's creating a proper story. And neither one is worse than the other. And I'll give you an example. It's a change that I thought of, you know, I've thought of for a while. Meowth Games, how's it going? It's a change I've thought of that will not be implemented. I will just say that now. So no one get, you know, like, what? But it is a change I've kind of thought when it comes to Ash's story. If I were to rewrite Pokemon and do it my own way, I think I would have Ash travel solo. I don't think I'd have him travel with Brock and Misty. And I got a few reasons for that. Number one being that I think Brock and Misty are there for two reasons. One, to obviously give Ash people to bounce off of, to actually be able to talk. And the second is because they help Ash learn on the journey. Which there is kind of a weird problem with how Ash... Oh, I got a new follower on Twitch. I forgot my Twitch was linked to anything. I haven't gone on Twitch in so long. But Brock and Misty, removing them. They're there to help teach Ash about Pokemon. And Ash being as dumb as he is about Pokemon is very strange. But I know why it is done. It's done for a lot of reasons in Pokemon, which is the same reason from Naruto. As, like, if you've ever watched Naruto, Naruto doesn't know what chakra is, which chakra is the fundamental power source of Naruto. And in the beginning, he goes on his first mission and he doesn't know what chakra is. and has to get it explained. And the reason why Naruto doesn't know what chakra is so the audience can learn. It's the same reason why Ash doesn't know how to catch Pokemon, or he doesn't know how to properly battle, or he doesn't know how to command Pokemon. And it's treated more like he's very stupid and doesn't know this stuff rather than he's new. And the reason why I removed Brock and Misty, not that it would be happening, by the way, it's not happening. It's way too complicated to remove Brock of all people because he's so tied to Ash, and I would love to use him for the other regions. Just this initial reason I always thought it'd be interesting. Because if Ash travels alone, he has only his Pokemon to really talk to other than random people he meets on the road. And I think that gives more development to the Pokemon as you get more close interactions with them for. And I think that works maybe in a fan fiction sense if I wrote a story about that. But in an anime sense, I think it's pretty boring. I think it wouldn't come out well. I think it's better if you just have the episodes of Ash and his Pokemon together that we've gotten in the anime, rather than fully on he doesn't have his traveling companions. And also, I mean, the Misty and Ash banter is top tier. Like, it's criminal to remove that. Also, Brock, you know, he's just great. The problem with Brock and Misty and Kanto is they don't do anything. Like, they have no goals other to themselves. Like, they have goals, but none of their goals are ever really, you don't really do anything with them. Like, you can't measure Brock's goal of becoming a better breeder, and Misty's goal is, like, she wants to be a water type master, but we don't know what that means in the same way we don't know what Ash being a Pokemon master is, you know? It's a nebulous goal that we can't really measure. So it's kind of them just traveling around and doing whatever. Also, another reason I would have removed Brock and Misty in a story sense is just because I feel like Brock is Ash's mom most of the time, where he cooks for him. He does all, like, Ash on his own is forced to learn how to survive versus having Brock to fall back on. 18 viewers, holy shit. So ultimately in this story, Brock and Misty are still there, and I will be giving them development. We will be able to measure goals for them in the show. Which is in the show, in the video. Same with the rest of Ash's companions. Like, I want them to have their own stories alongside Ash. They don't need to overtake Ash's, but they need to have something to do other than being Ash's, you know, tag-along group. Because otherwise, why are they there? You know? What am I thinking? So yeah, that's sort of like, if I took Brock and Misty out, that would be a change for a story sense of a story I'd write. But I'm making a lot of hand gestures, and I realize some of it's not getting on camera. It doesn't matter. But it's not like, but it wouldn't be good for the anime. Like, if I was making an anime. For years of watching the anime, I feel like it's super weird that this kid who has breathed Pokemon, since he doesn't know anything. Right, Castform. So Ash doesn't know anything about Pokemon, and that is something I will be changing. He will not be a Pokemon master, obviously. It's going to be sort of something who, like, Ash knows the basics of Pokemon, but he doesn't have any experience in them. And also, if I'm just saying, like, the bro knows Professor Oak on a personal basis. He watches Elite Four fight on TV. You telling me he doesn't know anything about Pokemon, about catching, or anything? Like, it's just weird. So I can imagine, like, here's how I'd write an episode if I was trying to introduce the concept of catching Pokemon. Ash and Pikachu would be out in nature, like, encountering that Pidgey or that Spearow or whatever it was. And rather than Ash not know how to do it, he's going to be talking to himself like, okay, the first step to catching a Pokemon is you have to weaken it first. Then you throw the Pokeball and you capture it. It's like, it's stuff like that where it's like you show Ash is nervous. Ash doesn't really know what he's doing. He's talking to himself because he's trying to psych himself up for catching his first Pokemon or battling his first trainer. Like, it's stuff like that where you make Ash naive and you make him new, but you don't make him dumb. And I think that's a difference. Johto filler will be burned to hell. Yes, Johto will actually have a story. Max is useless, yes. You ever think of making Ash teams using Fakemon from artists on Instagram? I have not, mostly because I don't have money. I'm very poor. And also, I'm an artist. So it's kind of like a thing where it's like, I don't have the Pokemon style down. I have my own cartoony, chibi style, you know. It's not the most greatest style, but, you know, it works. Oh, making Ash teams using Fakemon for... Okay, I think I understand what you mean, actually, now. I misread that. Maybe, you know, it depends. Like that requires a lot of going through and talking with people and asking for permission to use their art. It's something I could do. I'll keep that a note for the future. I did toy with the idea of Tangela. Yep. Tangela falling Ash was sort of the best way for me to get Tangela in the story without it being super late, because Tangela is just so close to Kanto that, or to Pallet Town. I figured that, you know, you can make the trip. It makes sense. But what we're going to be doing here today is kind of figuring out, not only are there if there are any Pokemon here that I would give to Ash here, but, like, or then when I remove here. And apologies for anyone if this was kind of your favorites. I'll give that a look after this. Jason Bornat. I need Ash to keep Oshawott. Okay, that's, so, okay, I'm actually, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is my original doc. By the way, Comic Sans, best things to thing. I like him and his introduction makes sense. Yeah, Delta Knight, how's it going? By the way, so this is the original doc for the first episode, the episode that changed my channel forever. Where I went, this is how I wrote them. So there are certain Pokemon that I just won't give Ash from his canon teams. Oh, and this is where I wrote down Heartbark Spinda, because I was watching the episode, and I saw the Heartbreak Spinda. I was like, why did Brock not catch this? This is the Krogunk, but like the opposite of him for the generation. And there, by the way, there are reasons why I won't give Ash certain Pokemon he's caught before. I have a burning hatred for Charizard that cannot be extinguished to a ridiculous degree, and that is why you're cut. The only reason I'm also not giving Ash the other 3 starters is because my goal is to seed Gary, Richie, and Green throughout the series to give them the representation they deserve. That's sort of how I've always thought a really cool way of doing it. If you didn't give Ash one of the Kanto starters, which I would give him Bulbasaur because read in the manga, also Bulbasaur Supremacy, he's my favorite. And I think just Charizard is overrated, and I don't want to give it to him, you know. And Squirtle feels too out of left field. Yeah, and GK, my hatred of Charizard is not something you guys have heard before. I used to talk about it a lot back in the day when I streamed. It's very ridiculous, and I cannot tell you exactly why. You know, there's multiple reasons, but I don't want to go over it, mostly because I know people are fans of Charizard. I know I'm the minority in this situation, and I'm in the wrong for this situation. But I never was a fan of Ash's. I always thought Bulbasaur and Squirtle were cooler. But also it's the reason why, like, Ash's Pokemon never evolved. Charizard evolved because everyone loves Charizard. It's a mascot. It's marketing. That's how they determine which of Ash's Pokemon evolved. Holy shit, we're at 30 viewers. That's know Holy shit. Sorry, I've never gotten 30 viewers in my life. Let's see. I'm gonna know them. They'll give Charizard another new form ZA. I hope not. God damn it. Misty having stars didn't feel right to mean she's a gym leader. She's popping up without charities. I agree with that. Power 99. The only reason I gave her Squirtle is because I thought Squirtle becoming a firefighter and being a firefighter specifically for her city, I thought that was kind of a really cool idea, because it kind of evolves on the gym leader serving their community thing. That's kind of the main reason I did it. I'm not sure if I'd give her all the starters like I did before, give her Totodile and give her Squirtle. I'm not really too sure what I'd give Misty and Brock at this point, because when I did the companions teams, I did them with the intent I have to give them 6 Pokemon. But that does not mean in the story I'm writing now, they will have 6 Pokemon. Also, Bulbasaur and Squirtle, I'm sorry you were cut. I love you guys. Hey, Dollop, I made a longer separate into 2 replies in your community post. Issue with your list. I suggest checking out for ideas and propositions. You got it. I will do it after I'm done doing that. I agree with WAP. It's stubborn to also, Bulbasaur does feel the best for Ash. I always did enjoy him because he had a maturity to him. It was a real shame he never evolved, at least into Ivysaur. I almost, so fun fact, the reason I did the HR video where I couldn't use any of Ash's Pokemon is because I wrote my initial list, which was, so my initial list, let me do this. I got to kind of do it from up here because otherwise it will lose screen. So was other than Pikachu, it was Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard, Haunter, Primeape, and that's all. Yeah, it was these 4. And I realized that was like exactly the same team I've seen on everybody else's lists. And I was like, and it's because it's a great team. It's like not because it's a bad team. It's the one everybody picks. Like it's the correct one. Like if you want to like make an optimal, in the sense if you're keeping an anime where you want representation for all the starters, this is like the best one to choose in my opinion. Especially of the Pokemon Ash has caught. I feel like Ash of gonna harness as an actual team member. Could it be a Pokemon left training where he brings back High King Pokemon 8? Kind of wish Ash caught a shiny though. I'll consider that. I really never I bet bro gonna keep Kingler. No, I don't think I'll keep Kingler. I consider it, but may reasons. Yet I hate Charizard. I don't know a reply to that in my head, but yeah, I personally cut Pidgeot and placed it with Farfetch. As sometimes Pidgeot was useless, if I'm going to be honest. Pidgeot was there because it's an easy Route 1 Pokemon to catch, and Rattata, like, who wants to see him use a Rattata? And for, like, the people who are like, oh, give him a Rattata. Rattata and Spearow are the Pokemon you give Ash to just try and be alternative, like, the alternative to catching Pidgey. It's, like, not really a great choice. It's just the I'm trying to not use Pidgey route. I know you're sure and all, but hating to the point you won't even give it to Ash is crazy. You're not. Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to cut you off there. You're not going to get me on it. I will never give him. I despise Charizard. I like Squirtle and Ivysaur. Hate Charizard. You know, it's never going to change. Never going to be. No, it's nothing. Look, none of my hate for Charizard goes anything past to any of the other shards. It is not because he is simply popular. There are multiple reasons in my brain of why I don't like Charizard, other than him just being overrated. So it's not, look, it's not, I don't hate popular because there's popular. Even if it's a marketing, part of me just really likes Pokemon not evolving sometimes. I'm not really good at explaining it. Just makes the anime full special. I understand that. I've always had a bit of a problem with it. I've eased up on it a lot, but Ash didn't need Charizard to evolve. I don't agree with that. Well, yeah, Ash had to replace Pokemon Trainer from Smash. Yeah, no, that's kind of why I like the Ivysaur thing. Hot take, Ash should not get any ace from canon because I think ATR's Pokemon would be cool to see. I've considered that. That is, I think, really the only two... There's only 2 Pokemon I've considered giving back to Ash. And that is Infernape and Greninja. And that's because the Magmortar line I created for Sinnoh was done out of necessity and not out of... because I thought it was a good story beat. I didn't exactly like the idea of bringing Magmar back to be his new ace because I like it being the Kanto ace, and I would have loved having a separate ace for Sinnoh. That was a Sinnoh Pokemon. Magmortar is a Sinnoh Pokemon, but it's like, it's the evolution of a Kanto Pokemon. It's like, yeah, it's a nebulous zone. Make right on the story Charizard. That's kind of possibly what I thought. You know, gym leaders should never have starters. Yes and no. I think there's some gym leaders that can have starters, some that can't. It really depends on them. I'm not a fan of just throwing a starter at a gym leader because it's a starter in the region. Like, I would never give Crash or Wake of people Prinplup or Empoleon because I feel like beefy... I mean, Prinplup... Empoleon's like a beefy water type, but like Poliwrath, Gyarados, and Quagsire are like these, like, I feel like brawlers, you know, and compared to Empoleon, which feels more refined. Let's see. What would I... Gardenia works. Like, I think, yeah, Gardenia's Turtwig works. So, let me just go through and cut through. I'm not going to use Pidgeotto and Butterfree. Kingler, I gave to green. I don't like it. Muck, I don't think. The Tauros, I consider giving him a Tauros. Like, I wouldn't be against him having a Tauros. I don't think he needs the 30-plus Tauros. Lapras, I think I re-gave him Lapras by accident back in my Champion versus Masters 8 video because I needed another Pokemon, even though I said I gave it to Misty. So I consider Lapras and Snorlax staying, if only because I don't think them, like, I don't think it really changes the story, unless there's, like, some Kanto kind of counterparts I could give them. I'm going to go over my list here of the initial Kanto Pokemon and explain my reasoning for them in kind of more depth now that I'm streaming. Should at least keep Primeape. It doesn't need to be on Ash's meme. Call it for it when he's like he did with Charizard. I think having both Chestnut and Greninja could be cool, but Greninja being one form, that is an option. In case we should bring in Growlithe to replace Magmar, he could be a little dog involved in Gen 3. advertise. So I support Q. I considered Aerodactyl. Red has had one in the manga, but I'm not entirely a fan of giving Ash fossil Pokemon. I know I've given him fossil Pokemon, but it's not my main thing. And I like Rhydon because I think Rhydon being a Gen 1, like the first Pokemon ever created, I think it's a fitting to give it to Ash. And also it kind of has the titular Pokemon look to it. What would an all water type Pokemon for Ash? I'll think about that in a bit, but right now I'm gonna go over this. So Beedrill, I'm keeping Beedrill because I like the idea of Mega Beedrill coming back. I don't think Butterfree, I mean, it's interchangeable, Butterfree or Beedrill, but I'm not trying to change stuff back to canon in this story. So the change, like I did with May and her Masquerain and Beautifly, if the Pokemon fits and it's really nebulous whether I need to change it or not, it's like kind of like changing for the sake of changing, I'm going to change it because that's the nature of the Ash Teams Redone verse. You know, the point of this list is not right now, is not to change things to be closer to canon. It's to see what things don't exactly fit on my thing, where I felt like the Pokemon doesn't fit Ash, or I'm like, I like the things better. So let's see. So I think the one I'd cut here is Farfetch'd. I think I have a good idea for a story for him, but I don't like, I'm not in love with the Farfetch'd choice. Also, yeah, Meowth games having both Giovanni and Ash having Rhydon is fun. I am a fan of the idea of the Ash is secretly Giovanni's son. That's always been a funny, like, one that I've seen throughout the community since I've started Pokemon that I've always thought was, like, good. Like, I've read fan fiction before, so I know, like, you know, things. So also we're gonna go to Pokemon DB, my favorite website for all this. I make sure all this is showing. National Dex. Let's see. Let me slide you guys over a little so you can get the. There we go. So you get the full list there. Because this is where I go when I'm coming up with these teams. Hi, recently subbed and love your 8 teams, Josh, and the different characters. Hey, thank you, Coral Stevens. You know, by the way, thank you all for viewing and subscribing and watching these videos. I didn't make these videos going in thinking they were going to get views, and it's blown up my channel more than I imagined. And I want you guys just to know from the bottom of my heart, I do really appreciate you all viewing. I'll say some crazy shit like I hate Charizard and do all this and blah, 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 fuck Alola. You know, it's like, and y'all stick around anyways, and I appreciate that because it's just me on my soapbox doing my bullshit. But I do enjoy making this series and trying to make it as good as possible. It's sort of why spoiler alert, if I am going to release, my goal is that I release this video at 10,000 subscribers. I'm at 3,000 right now. I don't think that's like a long ways away. You know, I think I could definitely jump. I might release it a bit earlier, but I like the idea of reducing at the sub goal, if only because I want to make it special. And rather than just I hit 10,000 subscribers and then I start working on the video, I want to be working on the videos now so I can release them at that point. Emmett Halbert, Sandslash. Yeah, Sandslash I always felt like a good Ash opinion. Also bless my soul for Meowth store. Yep, I love Meowth. Just Major, how's it going? So okay, actually, so that's a good point. Does Delta Knight, does Golduck overlay with Tangela and personality? I don't think so. So the way I've always imagined Tangela is kind of innocent. He's very childlike. You know, he's very friendly with everybody, and like he loves hugs, and he's just kind of like, he doesn't really know a lot about personal space, but he's like, it's kind of like he's not dumb for being dumb. You know, he's more innocent in a way. You're cool. Thank you, Grant Horn. Are you glad to sub? Hell yeah. Why don't we say it? Possibility. I'm going to get to Alola. We're going to focus on Kanto right now. We'll get to Johto and all those other teams. I'm not sure if we'll get through all the teams. I don't want you guys to know everything. And by the way, everything I do here is not final. This is sort of me getting my initial thoughts. And, okay, so here's this is an idea. this is kind of going off topic. Actually, I'll go back. Hold on. First, Tangela and Golduck first. So Golduck in the anime, and Golduck, funny enough, is not a Pokemon I normally give Ash, but the fact that it's Misty Psyduck, I think, is what convinces me. And if only because Misty Psyduck is kind of like, he's a dunderhead, but he has his moments of brilliance, and the point is, like, he sort of starts off on the duller side, but then evolves into Golduck and gets kind of more zen and calm with his, he still has some of his his Psyduck tendencies, but it's less of a, he's less like that. He's more calm. He's kind of more, he would sort of be the peacemaker in the team. You know, can stay comic one, but Golduck is only comic as a side. Yeah, exactly. Golduck sort of kind of grows into his own. And the reason why I give him Misty Psyduck, other than, so looking at the water types for Kanto, Bulbasaur, or not Bulbasaur, Blastoise off the list. My rule is I don't give him any Pokemon that can't traverse land. So that's like why we don't do Dugong. It's why I don't do Sea King. It's why I don't do Seadra, because I want Ash to have Pokemon that can be out with him whenever and not simply only when there's a body of water. I mean, like, think about Misty's Goldeen. It was never out unless there was like water nearby or it was coming out as a gag. Yeah, so Golduck would essentially kind of take over Bulbasaur's position in some way. It wouldn't be the guy at the ranch doing Bulbasaur's job. Bulbasaur kind of grew into that. But Bulbasaur was always doing that. I like the idea of sort of Psyduck being able to moderate the more temperamental members of the team better. Poliwhirl was an option I considered on my original list. The original 3 I considered was Poliwrath, Omastar, and Togepi. I know I said I didn't want to introduce fossils, but, you know, Omastar was kind of just an option I threw out there. Togepi I liked, but then I realized Golduck fills the role I wanted for Togepi in, the reason why I like Psyduck for Ash, Misty Psyduck specifically, is because it's a Pokemon with so many issues to it. It is not a Pokemon with natural talent, other than it's like if it gets a headache, it has large psychic power. It's something that requires Ash to actually figure out rather than just rely on the Pokemon being good or being strong. It forces Ash to learn more about being a trainer. That's why I like Golduck so much. And yeah, technically I could do I could assign that to any other Pokemon, but specifically because Golduck is so recognizable, I think it's kind of a fun thing. Also, I like drawing him as a Golduck with the Psyduck eyes. I think that's cool. Misty should evolve Goldeen. It's why I kind of gave her Magikarp, because I figured why not just make the Goldeen a Magikarp and have it evolve into Gyarados. Also, I guess this is something I wanted to address, because it's not something I don't like fighting down in my comments or going down and trying to clear things up in my comments, because it's like people are going to think what they think. Ash Kanto team pick Golbat, Victory Bell, Arcanine. That's a bomb-ass team. Snowrun the best. I gotta admit, that's pretty banger. Here's the thing. If there's one thing I try to not fall into, and I'll give you an example with this, is I try and give Ash Pokemon I feel like really fit him and try and check my own biases at the door. I know that's kind of weird to say after all my big Charizard hate, but again, we're following this list with the idea that I can't use his original Pokemon, and I try not to, I don't want to throw in the major members unless I have something really good and different for them. Like, I don't want, if I do Buizel on Ash's team in Sinnoh, it's not going to just be the same Buizel we got before. There's going to be a bigger story involved with that Buizel and how he joins the team and does all this. It won't just be the same thing done before, because that's not the point of this. It's not to redo everything that you guys have already seen. It's to give my own take on it while still trying to keep it feeling like the Pokemon anime. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so Ninetales is one of my favorite fire types in Kanto of all time. I love Ninetales. It is top tier. I think it probably is my #1 favorite fire type in Kanto. I would never really give it to Ash, though. I just don't think it fits him. And even though it is like an option for him, it's sort of like the... Like, yeah, I could. But, you know... It's like, I think like there's a, like, when people create teams, and this isn't addressed specifically at you guys or anyone, any YouTuber in general, this is just something I've kind of thought about, is that I feel like sometimes there's the copious bias to put in Pokemon we favor more than others. And it's not something I think people consciously think of. I think it's something you kind of like just click into. Cloyster is a Pokemon I have considered for Ash. I thought it was always kind of like a more of a kind of a dickhead, kind of an asshole, like with that smug jackass look on his face. I always thought that'd be kind of an interesting one. Electabuzz is also a Pokemon I would love to give Ash, but Pikachu. Vileplume, yeah, no, Vileplume's great. I love Blossom. Blossom's one of my favorites. Mr. Mime, I kind of would have loved to give Ash, but I like, you know, if you've seen my videos, you know, Galarian, do that. Galarian, Mr. Mime, you know, you guys, or Mr. Rhyme, you guys know I love. Pikachu, Charizard, Squirtle, Execute, Haunter, and Fearow. That's a pretty cool team as well. Marowak is a Pokemon I considered, before the Psyduck line, Marowak was a Pokemon I considered to give Ash for the sake of the baby. Like, I like the idea of Ash having a Pokemon that he kind of has to raise up. Not quite a baby, but not quite like something that's difficult to deal with, because that forces Ash to learn. So my two biggest contenders for this team, because Beedrill won't be on it at some point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 5 is Pikachu. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Mime is Ash's Pokemon. Clefairy was an interesting option. I actually wanted to give... I think I'd give Clefairy to Gary more than I would to be Ash, to kind of reference the fact that it was almost a mascot. Scyther's cool, but not quite... I like it better on Gary because of the reference to the manga. 38 years, holy shit. Kabutops and Aerodactyl are okay. But again, we're not going to try and redo Venthian team. My goal is to sort of take one Pokemon off, possibly. Any Pokemon I don't think fits, I'm going to take off and assign with something new, either from this list or going down. He will be catching extra Pokemon. I don't want to give him Gyarados because Misty's main thing. But how would you feel if someone were to try and beat every league? A bit off topic, but how would you feel if someone were to try and beat every league and or battlefield just to enter the Hall of Fame for a few regions? You know, it's not the way I would, if you're talking about Ash in this story, it's not the way, or like Ash in general, if that, you might not be, but that's how I'm interpreting this. It's not how exactly I'd write Ash. Ideally, I feel like if I were to create a Pokemon anime, the protagonist would change with every region. It would be like the manga. Like Red would run through Kanto. Gold would run through Johto. Like Brendan would run through Hoenn. And they all be different with different personalities, different things, different rivals. That's how I would run a Pokemon anime. And that's something I'm interested in doing in the future. But right now, it's sort of like if Ash does this. 41. Holy shit. Sorry, we're at 41 viewers, and that's awesome. Same like Regrel from Charizard and the anime, they have similar personalities. Aerodactyl is something I've considered, but I like Rhydon more. I don't know. I'll consider it. I'm not saying no. I won't say no to it now because it is something I consider. Because I basically have to go through all these Pokemon and consider their storylines, how they connect with Ash, and how they help Ash develop. Fearow, I never liked Fearow for Ash, if only because it feels like I'm trying not to use Pidgeot option. It's like, you know, I've seen it so much I've read a lot of fan fiction in the past, so it's like, you know, it's there. Absol is a Pokemon I consider for Ash and Hoenn in the past, but I ultimately didn't go with it because I just didn't have too much going with it. Like, but okay, so here. So option 1, I could see him honestly catching a Ghastly first and then evolving it to Gengar, or he gets the Haunter Gengar. That's always kind of a solid option for Ash. It's kind of something I've seen, but like I feel like it and Primeape fit the same role as it's a Pokemon Ash had and then released. You know, that's sort of one option. Tauros, I don't think Ash needs a flyer for this team exactly, because everything can shoot at a range, so it's not. Like, the reason why I'm less inclined to do Gengar, well, I gave Primeape to Green, and I like it on her. I also gave her Gengar. Where are my Ash free teams? You guys are getting things from my Google Docs. And if you glance, you can probably see some spoilers. Yeah, and by the way, companions will not have full teams of 6. I did that purely for the video. They will not have that. These aren't. No, this is companions. I need rivals. Where are my rivals? Masters 8, rivals. So I give Poliwrath and Sandslash to and Butterfree. Like I give Richie basically the sort of alternate Ash team, which feels like kind of like I kind of based it off of what when people make sort of like what Pokemon kind of fit with Ash, but alternately would fit with other people. Gary's team I could see reworking slightly, but I like it as it is. I'd probably list off more Pokemon he catches. But this is for Johto. This isn't the right team. What am I? Oh, I need. So I've created so many lists that it is hard for me to keep track. I need protagonist teams. That's what I'm looking for. What was Leaf's team? Or Green's team? Primeape, Clefable, Gengar, Ninetales, Kingler. Okay, yeah. So I gave her Gengar and I gave her Primeape. So, so I might not go with them. I'm looking out here just to see if there's any Pokemon I'm kind of interested in that kind of jumps out at me. There's some Pokemon that I'm like, it might be cool on an Ash team, but it might not. The only way I would include an Arcanine on Ash's team is if I made it. I'd consider it. I'd honestly consider it. It would not be like a dog, a puppy. You know, I think I would clean it closer to a very temperamental Pokemon. I will throw it on there. I'm going to debate between the story potential of it and Magmar. Because Magmar was very much thrown on there as a very temperamental fire type to bring Ash's thing. So I'm going to say that. That is... I will not... For all those Arcanine lovers out there, I don't think Magmar 100% fits Ash. But I'm not going to say that. I'm a little... Sceptile for Ash on Hoenn. I'm a little... I've considered it. I've considered giving him Infernape, Greninja, and Sceptile back, and those 3 starters specifically. Because it's a water starter, it's a grass starter, it's a fire starter. So it's like the only starter Pokemon Ash catches throughout all of it. I don't think Sceptile changes too much about my Hoenn team that I feel like I really need to do that. I don't know. Like, I think I could, but I feel like there's some changes. Again, I feel like it and Swampert are pretty interchangeable. Like, I think they fill the same role, maybe not personality wise, but like in the sense of what I need of them. The Marowak from the games, I do end up giving to Brock. I think I like it better with Brock, if only for the give him something to do, and it's kind of his first example of training a baby Pokemon. Giving Ash Eevee now would be interesting and all to evolve it into Espeon, but I don't want to have too much cross team contamination, which is why I consider Infernape for Sinnoh, if only to get rid of having Magmortar there as the ace. Because I like Magmar being the ace of Kanto. I don't like it. I was never in love with it being the ace of Sinnoh. So I don't know if there's anything that exactly jumps out at me. Like, one of the Hitmons might be interesting. I'd love to throw a curveball with Jigs. Man, Aerodactyl might make the cut in this if I don't like... Nothing that immediately jumps out at me. But Champlain, interesting. I don't think it's something I'm super in love with, but it is an interesting option. All right, so there's nothing I will decide on now, but I think for now, Gengar, Aerodactyl, to all you Aerodactylers. Girl Blitz, how's it going, man? If only we could use Lucario for Sinnoh. I would. I think I would. I just... Ooh, Lucario for Sinnoh over Infernape. That's also... Ooh, Chaos Form 7. Ooh, like, here's the thing. When I thought of, oh, I can't use... Do it Meowth Snowballs. Oh, man. Lucario for Sinnoh would be dope. And then you have it versus... Oh, because here's the thing. When I think about Pokemon... like that Ash has caught before, I don't in my head. Wow, by the way, I never realized I'd get this many viewers. Thank you guys so much. I don't think I don't think about the Pokemon he catches in the future. Like, that's funny. That's interesting. Because when I think about giving Ash's Gengar back, I think about the Haunter he lost, not the Gengar he caught in Journeys. Give him a Trini for... So here's the only reason I do not give Ash a Dragonite is I don't want to just throw Suedos at Ash. And I do say Suedo, not Pseudo. I know. I've read... By the way, here's the reason for that. Because you guys have definitely heard me do Suedo so much. And I've gotten so many comments all the time. It's not Suedo. It's Pseudo. I know. I'm 26. I know how to speak. But... specifically for Pokemon, I've read it as Suedo my entire life. It's just one of those things like... I just read my entire life and in my head just kept saying like that. It's just ingrained in my personality. And also, it's just really funny because now I laugh when I get the comments of like, it's not, what do you mean, Suedo? I was like, I will die on this hill. I'm going to call them Suedo Pokemon. But yeah, like, I don't want to just give Ash a pseudo Pokemon. I said it there. I don't know. I feel like Dragonite is just a powerful option that I like better on Gary for certain reasons that a video has not, honestly, if I ever get big enough that I start making merch, Kuro, I want a Suedo t-shirt. But, yeah, no, okay, so... Okay, call me crazy here. Wouldn't it? This might be interesting. So Ash needs Lapras to ride around on in Orange Islands. What if it was a really big Cloyster? I've seen Cloyster. I like it as an option, and honestly, it could be fun. I'm just gonna throw that down. Because there's the only thing I really ever considered for Orange Islands was a Gyarados as an alternative ride Pokemon. Let's see. I mean, Arcanine story thing with Rock. Yeah, so I thought about Arcanine being like a really like a bad dog Pokemon, like kind of a vicious dog Pokemon. It would go face down. So basically, ooh, I can grab my drawing pad for this. Surfing on Snorlax is funny. I'm not sure if I'll give him Snorlax, if only because I feel like I would replace it maybe with a different Pokemon he finds in the Orange Islands. Who knows? Maybe that's where he gets Aerodactyl. So you can see where I do all my little thumbnails and, you know, I'm working on, you can see I've had to, for certain things. I'm doing this with my mouse and not my drawing pad, by the way. So, the way I imagine they ride it is that you have, you know, you have, I need to finish. So you kind of have Cloyster. This is Cloyster. And so basically it would, just go face down. Like this, it'd be face down in the water and just motorboat its way forward. Kind of like a moving, like, fortress. Like, here's the spikes that come out the top. Something like that is kind of how I imagine. This is just something I'm throwing out there. Giant Tentacruel also would be pretty sick. I'm not fully against that. How many shinies Ash will get? One at max. Maybe just to replace Noctowl. I've never really thought... Like, I don't want to give someone too many shinies because then it just feels a little too... It just feels a little too weird. when would they do? I don't know. I don't know, Deshaun, why I wouldn't give him this, but if only for the sake of I could just have Misty catch a Lapras if I wanted her to have one, and I could have her do it in the initial story. It's really just to like expand on Ash's roster slightly. It's not like I want to give Ash more than 6 Pokemon or 5 Pokemon technically in every region. Maybe not giant Tentacruel, but like a Tentacruel big enough to fit him, Misty, and Brock is sort of my idea. Not the Kaiju one, mind you. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put Tauros down as well as his final one. I think Tauros could deserve more love. I think Tauros also kind of like so reasons why I like Gengar is because it's Infamous Trainer. What's up, man? Yeah, we're just getting everybody today. We're currently going over the ATR. So for all the new viewers, currently we are going over the teams I've made for my Ash Teams Redone verse. And because I'm going to create a similar to what Lumio's trainer Zach has done for Galar and Paldea, not in the same style though. If you're expecting that, if you want to go watch something like that, go watch his videos because they're great. But something in the line of we're going over the story of Ash's journey in this new verse, where I'm going to be changing up the stories of Kanto. I'm going to give Johto an actual story because I want to include Silver, so it's not going to be filler hell and boring as hell. And yeah, a line from my video recently of like, oh man, the Ledian episode, yep, that was great. What about the Chinchou episode? Yep, that's great. This is my childhood. Yeah, they're not great in Johto. I love Johto, don't get me wrong. The story there is nothing. And I want to include actual story. Right now, I think for now, this is where we'll settle on Kanto. And we're going to move on to Johto here. Magmar and Arcanine, potentially. None of these are off the table. Anything we do here is not confirmed. Being one to swim could be cool. Yeah, exactly. They could just swim on Misty's Gyarados. They're like, giving Ash a ride Pokemon in Orange Islands is not something that's needed, but something I'm just considering for the sake. A lot of things I'll probably figure out if Ash catches extra Pokemon is when I'm writing this, and I put it out in 10K, is when I'm writing this, I'll probably figure out, because I don't know the exact story other than Ash. Yeah, it was the Florus episode, not Chinchou. I couldn't remember that. Not just, this isn't going to be Ash's, the original episodes, but with new Pokemon. It's going to be an original story that still has the heart of the Pokemon anime. Maybe not the insanity of Kanto, where we're on crack the entire time, where Weasel's showing up. On my new video, I touch on like the witch. I touched on that in a video, which I'm halfway done editing, by the way. The small lava retard, like Johto got good after World Islands, I would say. After World Islands, it was pretty enjoyable, but before that, it was just boring as all get out. Like but Johto did have the best theme songs. I think you could make an argument for Hoenn, but I honestly, the Johto Master Quest, oh, that just hits different. What if we made Larvitar Arc the whole shebang for Johto? I would. You might be on something. Hold on. I was watching another YouTuber do this. Hedges, Aerodactyl, Orange Islands. So I'm gonna write down some of these ideas. So ATR, what did I do for my ATR team? The original document. Man, when did I post that first video? I'm actually curious. Because it's been a while, and we're up to like, you know what's crazy? So I was making animations before I did all this, and I was just not getting views. I was getting views because I was making fan art for guys. But December 21st, 2023. So before the year started, that video's up to 27,000 views. Holy shit. Yeah, World Islands was the last third of Johto. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just amazed at growth. We're almost up to 3,000. We're up to 2,993. That's pretty baller. I go off Autoptic so much. What am I doing? I really like Letty and Dunsparce and feel like they fit a lot with Ash. They're not strong. Yeah, so my biggest thing when it comes to Pokemon in the anime, they don't have to be good in-game to be good in the anime. The anime is the anime. Pikachu's good in the anime. And it's a Pikachu. Like, you know, like, game stats don't apply to the anime. It's more about heart and training and all that. So I could easily see a Letty on Ash's team. The only reason I didn't include one is just because it simply didn't make the cut. You know? Oh, fun fact. I did include moves for Ash's Pikachu as I went through these teams. I just never included in the video because I just felt like it was just a waste of time. So, let's do this. Do this. Okay, actually, as I'm assembling this, I'm gonna throw a crazy idea at you guys. This is sort of, it's the only spoiler idea I will give you guys. T-Bull for all, thank you so much. How's it going? This is the only crazy idea I'm gonna throw at you guys, and I know what everyone's reaction is gonna be. I know what it is, so don't take this as I'm gonna do this. This is just kind of an idea I had that I would do if I was creating the anime and I didn't have to adhere to its standards and marketing and all that. Pikachu evolving. How would we feel about that? Not necessarily at the Lieutenant Surge episode. Not necessarily there. But I have an argument for it. Like, my biggest reason why Pikachu will never evolve. I will say that. It will never evolve. It's because it's the mascot. It's Ash's companion. It feels... Evolving Pikachu feels the equivalent of, like, changing Ash's personality. Like, wanting to make Ash this cold, calm, calculating trainer. It's like, okay, well, that's just someone, your OC, wearing Ash's skin. Like, that's not it. Evolving Pikachu, it feels sacrilege. And it's the reason throwing out. Well, here's the thing. So, okay, the Pokemon anime has got me heated at this point. So, in the Lieutenant Surge episode... The reason Ash doesn't evolve Pikachu has nothing to do with Pikachu's personality, by the way. Let's get that off the table. Ash does not evolve Pikachu because Pikachu just wants to be strong. No, they do it because marketing. That is the only reason why Pokemon don't evolve. Like, let's just be clear about that. That is the reason. You know, it's artificial. Like, can we all agree on that? But the reason why Ash doesn't evolve Pikachu in the thing, and they'll point out why it beats Raichu. Raichu evolved too early and never learned all its speed moves. And I'm saying all this before I read the chat, because it never learned its speed moves, which is a really smart thing to do. The anime is rarely smart, but having Surge evolve as Raichu too early, where it didn't learn any of those techniques, is smart because it's an in-game thing. But here's the problem though: Pikachu already knows all its speed moves, so if you evolved him, he would have all the power of Raichu and the speed moves. It would just be even stronger. Like, it's sort of like, I was like, damn it, you did something smart and then something dumb. Like, I like the idea of maybe Ash not evolving Pikachu at Lieutenant Surge, but they keep the Thunderstone for when Pikachu feels ready. It could be like a manner of, I don't evolve soon. But it's a thing of like the possibility of it happening throughout the journey at a certain point. Initially, I thought maybe before they fight Gary. Maybe it's the night before Ash fights Gary, he's talking with Pikachu and he's like, wow, this is the guy I've been like training to beat my entire life. This is my rival. He's been my rival since we were kids. This is the guy. And that's when Pikachu gets the extra power boost and becomes Raichu. Fucking Mark. Hey, how's it going? We're just ranting about the Lieutenant Surge episode with Pikachu and Charizard and all that. All right, let's go to the chat. Don't make me pull you into a call, Mark. I'll do it. I swear to God. Pikachu evolving. Yeah, infamous. Personally, I don't see a big deal about it. Okay, that's good. This is spicy. Oh, no. It won't, excuse me. I would be fine with it. Imagine he evolves because he's too powerful now and needs a new body to stand new for power. No wrong. Unova would be dope. India. Pretty good. Evolving. I can agree with that, but honestly, I feel like Pikachu would lose his personality for evolving. I have an idea regarding Sneasel, having be Davis clapping me. Okay, one letter is a whole question I have for... N will be in black and white. I will confirm that. I will put N in black and white. Sir, I'm working and then got a date later, so leave me alone. Stupid Mark, having a job and work. I'm technically at work too. I mean, I don't do YouTube for a living, but I'm technically on the clock. Also, my secret Raichu, but that's not important. I very much enjoy. So the way I see it is that if because I'm not that big in Cantoni Raichu, the only reason I don't think about doing it is because I feel like it would alienate a lot of people from the show. And the way I've always seen it is that I know Raichu is a pretty big Pokemon. Couldn't Pikachu just evolve into a slightly bigger Raichu, like a Raichu that is slightly bigger than it? Well, enjoy that and enjoy your date, Mark. Who's thought you come in at the time? So for those you know, Mark, longtime friend, he's been in my streams back when I was doing this with 3 people. I don't know how I got to 43 today. That's crazy. But Mark has heard, there was, back in the day, I would just sit there and I would stream and draw and play games, and I would just rant about Charizard and the stupidity of the Pokemon anime, and specifically how much I dislike the Lieutenant Surge episode because of the Pikachu speed thing versus the Raichu thing. I might have to play some games, so hope the read and story goes well. Yep, see you later, Genkicorn. Or Granklecorn, sorry. Thanks for stopping by. But I would just rant about that, and Mark was always there for that. So that's the reason why, and that's also why he's mod. He's heard it about 100 times. Also in our D&D games. Evolve Pikachu in a lower rank Liam fight. I wouldn't, exactly. So that's also another reason. I wouldn't evolve into a Alolan Raichu. I'd give a Alolan Raichu to How, and they could face off, and I thought that'd be funny. Marketing reasons. Evolving Pikachu could differentiate adapting Ash, showing how Ash does part new power speed. See, that's a big reason, Infamous. That's why I like the idea, because I feel like it would be jarring, but I feel like this entire series is supposed to be jarring. That's kind of the thing. Like, there are some changes I would make as a writer if I was writing the series, where, like, maybe removing Brock and Misty would be an idea, but it's not something I'm doing for this. But, like, it's sort of like stuff I've thrown out there. So it's sort of like, it might be, like, I've seen a few people do Ash's stories over again where they've evolved Pikachu. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's an idea I just wanted to get an initial read on here for the sake of it. I almost made a video, like an announcement video asking this, but I thought that's the best way to do it. But it's something I wanted to throw out there. I talked about all this and I did not even do what I was trying to do. Yes, Pikachu will get extreme speed. I know, I'm just going to say that now. I will give Pikachu extreme speed. Why does it still have quick attack when I can give it extreme speed? And it doesn't matter that it has to be an event or something. Pikachu learned Volt Tackle despite not being born with it. So Pikachu can have anything. Tracy and Hoenn would be dope. I'm going to give some love for Tracy. I clowned on him in the original video I made, but I mean, I'm an artist. I like Tracy Sketch It. You know, he's just a nothing character that I'm going to make a something character. Ash Teams. So, okay, so I need to pull up. I think the point in which it evolves is crucial to really sell the evolution, but don't be right. I think it really set your content apart from others that do the story. That's what I'm thinking, Infamous. Really appreciate that. Also appreciate you watching, man. When you first commented on my videos, I freaked out, by the way. I was just like, oh shit. That was a really funny day. And then the other guys commented. You guys make great content too. Yeah, so I won't confirm either way Pikachu evolves into Raichu. I'm gonna hopefully set it up. If I do it, I'll set it up in a way to not alienate people or to make people understand it. I'll go away. My dog's clawing at me. So we got the boy Heracross. We got Bayleaf. Quilava. It's at Totodile. Noctowl. Donphan. I just never seen shit with Ash. So my idea is, if it is a Raichu with Ash, it is small enough that it's basically Pikachu sized. Because I don't think Ash having this big, bulky Raichu works. Pikachu still needs to be able to ride on Ash's shoulder if it's a Raichu. Have you thought about merging the Pokemon Adventures manga with the anime? Some side characters would have similar stories or personalities like Koga and Surge. I've considered it. I think the Adventures anime for Red, Blue, and Green is a little too much for the anime. I'd do that for its own, if I was doing my own separate adaptation, maybe, but it's not something I'm particularly against. Okay, so why not just have Pikachu evolve earlier than Surge? Because I feel like that's way too early, and I like the idea of the Pikachu versus Raichu. I think that's there are certain points in this story that I will hit that happened in the anime. It is only because they did it very well, and I want to pay homage to that, even in my story where I changed the plot up. Shut up, Creative Cloud. It is exactly Meowth games. I have considered evolving Meowth into Persian, but only in some alternative world would I imagine Meowth evolves into Persian and can still talk. That's like some alternate world. That was just way too far for me to consider. Like, I did consider that, though. I say Gloriana so we don't potentially lose him in Hoenn. Potentially. So, here's... So, how do you guys feel about Politoed over Quagsire? It's just something I've thought about. Because I feel like similar personality, King's Rock evolution. I feel like Hitmontop might fit in the same criteria where you have like a initial Pokemon that you think is going to evolve into like Poliwrath, but instead like it's like you think this is going to evolve into the Kanto version, but it evolves into the Johto version. Hitmontop kind of fills that role. So here are the people that stay gone and on Ash's original team. Donphan, the egg is... And I did consider Ash Octillery. I kind of liked it better for James, but it is an option. I think it's a unique option. I think Quagsire and Espeon were the two I never quite initially liked including because, again, it's, like... Because like the entire point of my list was to do something different. They just fit Ash too well. No. A fake out evolution is cool, but I think 2-in-1 might be too much. Exactly. Okay, it was an option I thought about in the shower. I think Quagsire fits Ash. I think being its first encounter, the early Wooper encounter works. So, Heracross, unfortunately, you are cut, my friend. I could not do you justice. Bayleaf is gone, if only because Espeon fills the same role as Bayleaf, and I like it better. I'm not delusional. They don't evolve for marketing and nothing more, but some touch me and maybe... Yeah, Casper, I say marketing. A lot of Pokemon evolve, and they do it in a very, very good way in the anime. I'm not saying... I will say that. That is, do that. So, this entire team is possibly unchanged. Totodile, unfortunately, you're cut. Noctowl, if I keep Espeon, you're cut. Okay. So, here's my thinking. Ash's Cyndaquil has always been a favorite of mine. Since the beginning. I liked that it's a Pokemon that started off very kind of childish-like, almost baby-like. And, yeah, it's considered the baby of Ash's team. And it started off very weak and lazy and grew. E.T., how's it going, man? And I always enjoyed that. What I did not enjoy is that it never evolved. It had very clear moments in Johto it could have evolved and just didn't. And I think the idea of Quilava or Cyndaquil being caught very early and evolving into Typhlosion is very appealing to me. I'm not sure how quick I like the idea of sort of here's the thing though. The reason I include Houndoom is because I like part of Ash's team showing off the unique aspects of that generation because he is our star. Because he is our star, because Ash is the star of the anime, showing off the mechanics of that new region is important in my mind because that's how you see them. That's how some people might see them for the first time. And so if I cut Houndoom, I need a dark type to throw on his team. I don't think a Murkrow fits, but then that would mean I throw Sneasel on. And I don't know how well a Sneasel fits Ash. I do like the idea of Ash, how I made a comment how much I love Pokemon not evolving, and now we're talking about one of my biggest exceptions. Ash should have a Typhlosion full stop. So Sneasel would also replace Misdreavus, I would say. So this would essentially, this would be the squad. Possibly Meowth, maybe. I haven't gotten to the silver stuff yet. I haven't thought about that. I'm just thinking about Ash's teams. I like how, Houndoom was not one I initially liked on Ash's teams, but I think with the Houndoom episode in the anime, make the Sneasel problem gremlin that steals things. Possibly. So initially Houndoom's like first outing in the anime, I hate how Bulbapedia restructured this was like, god damn it. It debuted in Houndoom Special Delivery Service, where you see it, it's like super caring and nice to Togepi. It's like, you know, it's not just the devil Pokemon, you know? And they had an episode in the anime where it's perfectly Ash could have caught it. So, so that's kind of a big thing in my mind. So like that's kind of why I included it, because I knew personality matters in a lot of Pokemon. It's how I've gotten away with a lot of Pokemon Ash's teams that I feel like don't really fit. But if like you give them the right personality, like here's the thing, I will, going down these teams, I'm gonna jump straight forward. Roserade is fucking staying on the Sinnoh team. I love Roserade on the Sinnoh team. I love everything I've thought about it. Exactly. Meowth games, that's a great team for Ash. It's just like the only reason I would not give it to him is because it goes against the Ash team's redone structure. And so it's sort of like a and here's another reason I'm a little that's another thing, Meowth games. If I give him Sneasel, I have to take away from Silver because I don't like to double up. So it's just a like it's a hard choice. Like there's so few dark types so early on that I don't like Murkrow. Umbreon fits better with Gary. Tyranitar, he's getting later, and it's not really what I want to think. So it's sort of I do the Typhlosion storyline and I do the Typhlosion storyline. And I just keep the team like this. But here's my biggest problem. I don't want to give Ash too many starters back. And so Greninja and spoiler alert, Greninja and Infernape are coming back, baby. Both the guys are coming back. Their stories are great. They're so integral to the journey. Well, actually, sorry. Infernape might not come back. Now that we see now, the Lucario idea has been planted in my mind, and honestly, Lucario as an ace is pretty baller. And if we're being honest, the Infernape storyline, I said it in the video, Ash trying to prove that weaker Pokemon, like any Pokemon, can be strong. I mean, it works in the sense that Infernape was weak under Paul and just needed the right trainer to be strong. But the reason why Infernape wins is because he has an unnaturally strong Blaze ability. And that's not me ragging on Infernape. Infernape is fucking, is my favorite fire Pokemon Ash has ever caught. It has okay, you know what, I'm gonna take a strong stance. Infernape has the best story of any of Ash's Pokemon. I think that it has the best story. I think you could argue with Greninja. I think Greninja and Infernape are pretty up neck and neck there. But I might have talked myself into this because the only reason I would not include Typhlosion is because I include Infernape. But if I don't include Infernape, you know, maybe a Typhlosion fits more, and I like the Typhlosion through line. I did not plan to include Gold/Jimmy in the anime anyways. So, spoiler alert, the two other trainers would be Silver and, what's his face? The other guy. What's his name? It's not Harrison. Harrison is rival. Vincent. His name's not Vincent, though. Is it Vincent? Oh, I guess it is Vincent. I always felt like he has a different name for some reason. So Silver and Vincent, Meganium for Alligator. So, Castleworm 7, I love your suggestion. I was not even thinking, Oh yeah, Deshaun. Here's the thing. My Charizard hate has weird waves where like I love it on Lance's team and I like giving it to Brock. I just don't like it on Ash or as like the main rival enemy. You know, I like it as a Pokemon on someone's team. That's whatever. I just don't like it in the spotlight. Yeah, Clodsir will be gone. Greninja is coming back. And I like the idea of Chimchar being a rage monster on Paul's team. I know it's kind of weird, but like I think Paul having this unnaturally strong Pokemon that Ash has to go against with his crew of misfits is pretty sick. Sorry, I've written stories for Pokemon before. I mean, they're I guess you could call them fan fiction. They're more writing exercises that never see the light of day. And are only for my like enjoyment. What do I call him? I definitely gave him yeah, it's Vincent. Okay. I guess I just don't really think about Vincent. That's funny. Make sure I get to the right tab because this is my look, as much as I want to have Infernape, imagine Paul come back with Gallade. Yeah, no, I like that. I've written a bunch. I think one of my stories is over 200 pages on my Google Doc. Who catches the red arrows? I'm giving it to Lance. I'm just letting Lance keep it. I won't go into where he gets Lucario, but I will have it. Okay, you know what, guys? I think this is a good Johto team. And also, technically. Maybe not throughout the entire show, but I'm glad we did. Is there? I don't feel like any of the dark types fit Ash. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I could do it. It's unfortunate. Houndoom is kind of my only option. I don't like Sneasel. I don't like Sneasel for Ash. I don't like Murkrow for Ash, and I don't like Umbreon. Umbreon I could see, but I feel like if you do Umbreon over Espeon, I feel like that's just weird. You know, you'll get plenty of dark type representation through Silver and Gary, and like so they'll be there. So Larvitar is just a traveling companion. It's the Larvitar from the anime. If you've watched my videos, you know I bring him back for journeys. So that's why. Okay, we're going to move on to possibly a fully unchanged team. Because again, like I said, the point of this is not to just give Ash half of all his Pokemon back. It is just to give possibly one or two changes. Like stuff where I don't need to, like, you know, just certain Pokemon where I'm like, this might not fit. I'm refining the teams and giving Pokemon that Ash caught that I think might fit him, you know, back. Flygon's not joining the team. I'm just going to say that now. I don't want to double up on fire types. I really don't like doubling up on types. Like, secondary types don't matter too much, like ground on both these guys. You know, it's just something I'm never a fan of. What if I had a steel type and a dark type? Possibly, but I do have Brock have Steelix. Let me look at steel Pokemon. You know what? You've raised a good point. There's not a lot of early steel type Pokemon in the game because he's not getting Magneton. I give yeah, it's either Fortress, Steelix, Scizor, or Skarmory, and all of them I have better people to give them to. It's kind of like how I personally don't think a fairy type fits him. Plus, it feels like a marketing. It does feel like a marketing thing, but it's kind of like part of reasoning is good. You know, and it really, and by the way, give him a Pokemon that represents, it's always representing the current gen, never the other thing. I don't like Absol for Ash, if I'm being honest. I mean, I think it could. Skarmory feels like, I like the Skarmory episode where Cyndaquil faces him. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. I like the Mischievous Ghost for Ash. You know, here's the thing. Mischievous / Skarmory. I'm going to write that down. It's for thought. Again, none of this is final. This is all giving me ideas and food for thought and giving, you know, stuff that you guys might have good ideas. I'm not going to go over certain plot points with you guys because that spoils the video that I haven't written yet. And again, all this gets released at 10,000 subs. So, it's kind of It's a thing. Oh, and also a big thing. I'll post a video about it eventually, but what I want to do at the end of all these story videos, because there's going to be one for each region, is a little Q&A. A little Q&A that you guys pose questions for me, and I'll answer them about certain choices I've made, stuff about the stuff, like maybe anything you guys could think of about involving the Ash Teams Redone verse. Nothing to post now, by the way. Stuff for later. Okay, team-wise. We have Sceptile, we have Swellow, we have Glalie, we have Torkoal, and we have, who's our missing boy? Hold on, I'm gonna get it. I know this team like the back of my hand, maybe not. Corphish. Probably one of the favorites of the Reworks. It feels right away. Yeah, no, it's a solid team. It is a solid team. I don't think Mawile fits extremely well with Ash. I like it better as a Jamesmon, personally. All right, so team-wise. The only Pokemon I consider getting rid of is Sableye. Oh, Apom as well, but, you know. Good call. Just so it can go, whoop-bam! Goodbye, those three. Okay. So, let's look at this. And also, we are going to look through the Hoenn decks. Because we also are just going to, as a group, we're just going to look over and see if there's anything interesting. What about Grumpig? Spoink a couple times. He could Orangetic. Possibly. Apom technically counts. It traveled with Ash, but honestly, I don't see the point of it too hard unless I want to give it to Dawn. And that's the only reason I could. Then I would just tack Apom on at the end and it would just do its own thing. But it's Apom doesn't really matter for Ash's teams. It only matters if I give it to Dawn. So the only Pokemon I consider getting rid of is Sableye. You know, it's funny, so many electric types really speak to me on an Ash level, but just because he has that, like, here's the thing. I like Swampert. Actually, let's go to the big suggestion before everything. Sceptile or Swampert? Now, wait. Oh, I could do a poll. I can just do this. I remembered that I've watched another streamer do this. I can do a little poll. Yeah, Camerupt can be a bit dull. It really, for him, depends on personality-wise. Here's the thing. I might just give up on giving him a fire type for the region, if I'm being honest. Like, Camerupt and Sableye are kind of the first on the chopping block. I don't want to give him Slackoth, if only because Breloom I like too much. I think Breloom only goes if I replace Swampert. That's the only way Breloom goes. I think Breloom's a really great Pokemon. I like the personality I made for it. And I don't think any other grass type in things do the thing. I'm not really in love with Grumpig as a Pokemon for Ash. I liked it in that contest episode, but it was never a Pokemon thing. Oh, here's the thing. I'm not saying we're replacing these two, by the way. When I say these two are on the chopping block, it's really just maybe something fits better. And right now, I'm not really seeing anything much other than, like, you know, the odd ends. People like Absol, people like Flygon. Never going to include Flygon on the team. I love Flygon. That, it's not anything against Flygon, by the way. I just love the idea of Salamence too much. I love the Salamence story I've come up with. We're not giving him Cast Form. Really, the only thing that really speaks out to me is like a Shiftry or something, you know? It's possibility. Walrein might be a possibility. I like Walrein. I think Walrein's going to be shown a lot as a Team Aqua Pokemon, so I don't necessarily want to have it as Ashes. That's kind of an oxymoron because I give him Camerupt and Team Magma has Camerupt. I've considered Zangoose in the past. I've just never been in love with it. You know, just it's, I don't know, it's the shape of it's just weird. Ninjask I've never, like, Ninjask I loves a Pokemon. I'm a big bug Pokemon. I like Breloom over Tropius. Here, you know, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. Well, Aggron might be an option, but he's gonna face Steven later in the Masters 8, and Steven's gonna have an Aggron, and Iris has an Aggron. It's just, you know, it's a thing. Honestly, giving him a Linoon would be pretty funny. We'll get to Tyson. Actually, Tyson's not. I'm gonna spoiler alert. Tyson's not gonna be in the story. We don't need Tyson. I gave Absol to Serena, and I like it on Serena's team, so that's why I won't give it him. And when it comes to water types, Apoko, instead of the reason why I don't give him a Relicanth is because I like him having Pokemon that I like having a Pokemon that he can travel with. So if a Pokemon's restrained to the water, it's just kind of like you don't see it as much. All right, going over this list. Oh, actually, I have not been looking at this poll. 27 votes, probably the best we're going to get. So everyone seemed to like Sceptile over Swampert. Here's my thing. So if I'm going to give Ash back starting Pokemon, in my head, and I don't know why I'm wired like this. I don't know why. I'd give him back one fire type, one water type, and one grass type. Now, potentially, Sceptile is that grass type. I don't want to give them both. I think I like distributing the starters out to multiple people. So basically, whatever, if Ash does not get Sceptile, it goes to Brendan. If he does not get Swampert, it goes to Brendan. That's sort of how it works. But so Ash's grass slot, we haven't gotten to that yet. You know, we haven't gotten to the team. I think I might give Ash his grass starter back, because Sceptile has been a thing in my head, but I feel like Swampert and Sceptile just kind of fill the same role where I don't really need to worry about it. Like, it's sort of like, you know, yeah, Sceptile is really cool, but I feel like I could do the same thing with Sceptile with Swampert and vice versa. So it's very interchangeable. And at sort of that point, I'd lean towards the change. And that's why. I think the real question is, how much, like, would you guys rather see a Glalie or Swellow over Sableye is my question. Zangos could potentially be the ace, but it would have to go to the starting Pokemon, you know? You're a fraud. Give him Rowlet back in Alola. How dare you call me a fraud? No. Just for that, I'm purposely not giving him Rowlet back. Okay, I lied. I'm not actually sticking to the thing, because I'm really debating myself whether I give him Incineroar back. Incineroar is kind of a game changer. And that's only because Salazzle's story is just Incineroar, but with some flavor. Okay, so that's the thing. I really love Ash's Snivy. Like, I think Ash's Snivy is just great. And I think it has one of the best personalities of Ash's Pokemon, and it's such a shame. It's the first time we knowingly get Ash with a female Pokemon, which is pretty sick. And it has Attract. It just should have evolved, you know? It should have evolved. I don't know why it didn't, you know? And it's sort of the Pokemon I'd consider over Whimsicott on Ash's team in Unova. And that's sort of the only one I kind of really thought of other than Sceptile. Have a Samurott. I don't like Samurott. I like Duat. I like Oshawott. I'm not a Samurott fan. It's only because it's weird. I can't imagine Samurott fighting. Is the weird part. Like, oh, Bayleaf was a girl. That's right. You got me there. Bayleaf was a girl. No, you're right. Bayleaf was a girl. Swampert, yeah, well, the black and white anime is an anime of mistakes. You know. Yeah, I forgot about Bayleaf. Don't crucify me. You know, I like Snivy better than Bayleaf. I'm gonna say that. I think it just more personality than just having a crush on Ash. We know nothing about her past. You know, she's very mature, like very strong. I don't want to bring back Oshawott. I'm basically replacing Oshawott with Rose Raid in terms of personality, so it would just be a do-over. I don't want to give him too many starters back as well. I'll do another poll. Because I saw someone point out that he already has a flyer in Salamence, which is true. So I'm going to throw it down to Glalie or Sableye. I'm going to do a little slash here. I imagine she and Sandile were victims of Plasma's liberation plans. I do have plans to incorporate the Team Plasma story in the black and white anime and make it more apparent. Like I'm going to do a bunch of things in the animes to maybe make them closer to game accuracy. I'm just going to move this down because this is basically... The team's pretty solid. There's nothing on the Hoenn team I really wanted to change. So let's go to this team. This team. My Mother Mary and Joseph. Simultaneously one of my favorite and least favorite. It has some of my favorite aspects and some of my least favorite aspects in terms of the teams I've built. I actually hated Osh back in the day, like calling it a Piplup ripoff. Funny enough, Oshwa, maybe throw it the 8-point contributed Dawn, possibly. I did make one mistake with Dawn, and it was taking away the Mamoswine because I do hate giving female trainers just very feminine teams. You know, just because, oh, here's girls, so give them girl Pokemon. So including something like the equivalent of May's Munchlax is important to me. So it's something I got to rework with Dawn's team, is I got to change that up a bit. Actually, but the fact that Ash had Snivy didn't evolve, but Trips did one. Yeah, exactly. It was stupid. I'd be down for Ash getting Glalie way early. I hate when Ash gets a Pokemon super late. Yeah, no, Glalie, again, any Pokemon I give Ash's from his original teams, I will be doing my own thing with. Like, it will not just be whatever story from the anime, like, is the same. Like, I think the only exception to that is Greninja and possibly Incineroar. You know? Like, those are really the exceptions to all this. It is not a... Like, because, again, I'm trying to give you guys something new, and their stories might not work in the context of the teams I built. Damn. This team was stacked. Minus the bottom three here. Like, well, Glasgow made a comeback. I will say that. I want to say Gallade for Sinnoh, but then we won't get Gallade. I like Gallade's storyline for Journeys. That's the reason why I'm not going to give him a Ralts now. Yeah, I like the idea. So my running theory, so it's something that's never touched upon. If I were to redo Hoenn, I would put Regice's chamber in the Shoal Caves where you find Snowrunt, and that's the reason why Snowrunt, or it's what reason why it's all ice down there is because Regice's power is leaking out into the cave and makes it ice. Same thing with Reggie. That's why the desert is there's that desert in Hoenn is because Regirock's tomb is there. I've always, that's always been my big fan idea. I've always loved that. You'll probably see something about that when I do the Reggies in my legendary lore videos. Yeah, McMortar's getting out of here. I don't want to do McMortar. McMortar was there because I needed a fire type, and yeah. I'm a huge fan of the Reggies as Pokemon, and I think they get done so dirty in the anime. I hate legendaries getting captured by people, man. It just makes them seem so much lamer. Oh, oh, the boys get done so dirty. Every time. They're just fodder for some other legendary. Or just being captured. Really sense trouble. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. Snover was an option. I don't like so Tortuga and Fernape, you're gone. Nah. Maybe, but I use Garchomp for a lot of freaking people. That's the hard part. I think I use Garchomp too much. Gastron, you're gone. Bam! Gastron's gone. I'm just gonna say that now. So let's look at the Sinnoh decks, because as I mentioned in the video, I was very limited on this deck. There's a reason why I gave Ash a fossil Pokemon. Drapion was always something I considered. So Rhydon, Magmortar, and Rhydon, Magmar, if I use it, and Misdreavus will be coming back in Sinnoh to evolve. I will have that happen. They'll be like traveling companions. They'll come and do a thing, but they won't be mainstays. But they will come back. If only because I like the idea of Ash still using all his Pokemon for the league. But yeah, there's really nothing here like I'm super in love with, because I also want to stick to Ash's battle style. I did consider Hippopotas, but I feel like just Hippowdon's so much of an anchor. Like, he has, like, I want to keep the team fast and loose. I like Drifblim. I think Drifblim's fun. I'm not in love with the idea of Drifblim, but I feel like it was a good option at the time. Personally, I would love to give him Kricketune, but it just doesn't work. Yeah, like the Quilava scenario, but instead of it happening at the last minute, it goes throughout the region. Playing for Ash, and then Dawn could have Turtwig because she has one in the Masters. Nah, Piplup's too much a Dawn Pokemon in my brain. She has it in the manga, she has it in the anime. I couldn't see her giving her that. Maybe. I want to keep the team pretty. Like, if I give him Glalie, it's gonna be the Apom where he gets caught on at the end. Not a bad idea. I just don't love Frostlass for Ash. I don't think it really fits him. Melcombe. That's the honestly, yeah, Melcombe. Yanmega, no. Gliscor, no. I'm not gonna waste my one insert. Well, I kind of already wasted my one insert is Buizel. No, we're not. Here's the thing, JBR. The goal of this is not to give back Ash most of his Pokemon that he's already caught. It's to replace one or two and refine the list, you know, with stuff that fits from his original team that I think I kind of need that I just couldn't use. I'll get a seizure. I think this team works. This is kind of I like giving him Lucario. I think Lucario is... don't give him Porygon Z because I gave it to Tobias. That's the reason why I don't give it to him. I like the Lucario idea. I like Lucario versus Infernape more than I like, you know... Or maybe not Lucario versus Infernape, but I like Lucario being in the story. I'm not saying this is official, but we're gonna run with this list for now. This feels like a great Sinnoh team, you know? No, I'm not going to give Ash another electric type. It doubles up. He's always going to have Pikachu or possibly Raichu. I'm such an asshole. Yeah, exactly. I think Lucario could have an arc like that. Bibarel's interesting. Exactly. I could use Toxicroak, but I like Broxcrogunk. I love Broxcrogunk, dude. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I've stolen a lot of Pokemon from mainly Misty. I couldn't do that to Brock, man. Croagunk's just too good. The only reason I would not make Lucario the sole focus against him is because I like the idea of Roserade coming into his own. Maybe it doesn't need Lucario for that. Meowth games, it's the anime. No one cares about type coverage. Actual typing does not matter. Like, aim for the horn, guys. Like, it's the anime. It's one of those things I've learned to accept. Type matchup doesn't make or break anything. Yeah, Escavalier or Stag. I love Escavalier. It is things. And also, if I do Lucario, I want to introduce Ash's Aura abilities sooner. I want to seed those in. Because that's something that just never gets touched upon, and it gets touched upon initially in the movies, which who's to say, maybe the movies get injected into the anime. Maybe I make them necessary watching. Who's to say? Ha ha ha. Oh, I still have this poll going. I can end this. Wow, a lot more people for Sableye than Glalie. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I'm not against him getting Glalie, by the way. It could always just be he gets another Glalie. Or he just gets another Pokemon. We're gonna start another poll. Because this is actually would be a replacement. Exactly, Deshaun. Rhyhorn's going to come back, or Rhydon's going to come back for the Sinnoh League. All his Pokemon are coming back for the Sinnoh League. Which, fun fact, people don't like, and I love what I did with Sableye, where I did not make him the mischievous prankster Pokemon. I made him a glutton who likes eating crystals. Like, he has some, like, ghost-type tendencies. I did not want to make him Misdreavus 2.0. I want to make sure every one of Ash's Pokemon has a distinct personality. That if you put all of Ash's Pokemon in a room, Whimsicott might get cooked here. But if you've seen my video, you know what the ideas I've had for Whimsicott. Yeah, crazy for wanting Vanillix. I don't think it's extreme. I'm a big Vanillix fan. I like Vanillix, despite what people say about, oh, it's an ice cream cone. I'm sorry. Well, Geodude is just an arm with rocks. Voltorb is a Pokeball. Like, imitation Pokemon. The only reason, well, Superior is because his Snivy just should have evolved. It would be Ash's Snivy in personality. Maybe I change up the story about it. But, oh, yeah, Curl Blitz. I love that. That's a great, I'm freaking copy paste on that shit. I love the idea of those two just chowing. Oh my god. I love the idea of those two just eating food together. That's just so great. I'm not going to give him Samurott because I gave him Oshawott. Not considering. Banette could work with a story from the Banette episode. Possibly. It's called Paper. G2Q Quinzos. That's a great team. It just feels so standard, you know, in a way. It feels very standard. It feels like the black and white team. I want to make sure I don't give Ash just the black and white team. Also use Braviary for another character, Black. Are you going to keep Crocodile over his... I'm not keeping Crocodile. And that's because if I include Crocodile feel like he needs to be ace. If I include an ace from his original team, they're going to be the ace of the new game, or these teams most likely. If I bring one of his original aces over, it feels like that has to be the ace. And Escavalier, the ace, is based. I'm sorry. Escavalier is based. I'm just going to end the poll there. That's very clear how that's going. The real question is, and so I considered, so actually I'll go down here. Where are you? These were all the options I considered for him. Pokemon version of Jiraiya. That's interesting. No, I'm not going to give him Keldeo. I couldn't do it. I can't. The only reason Ash has Kartana in Marshadow is because I'm imitating the anime. And because both of them don't feel... Ultra Beasts aren't legendaries. Let's get that off the table. So Kartana doesn't matter. Marshadow just does not feel like a... what does it represent as a legendary? That it's not like it has some... It's not like it's a Groudon. It's a Marshadow. You know, like... you could make the same argument for Keldeo in that scenario. But I just don't like Keldeo. It's too My Little Pony for me. Let's go down here. What water types? Let's peruse the good old water type list. Cool, you have access to everything. I would give him Excalibur for Hilbert, but I gave it to Bianca. Now hearing out Ash is John, but it comes the Apom Ash team before giving on possibly if I want to give Dawn a Frost last, but I want to possibly avoid a female Pokemon for Ash. Sculpey, Zoroark, and Extra could be great. They could be. Zoroark. Okay, so yeah, here's the thing. In my let's see, where is it? Legendary lore. I'm not sure if legendary lore are my worst performing videos, but I love them anyways. I've not gone over the mythical Pokemon, but like, no, it did make the list. Power, yeah. Yeah, and I don't think I ever went over it, but I won't spoil all that. Because all that is just an initial idea. We have Kelly in ATR already, a Scavalier. Yeah, Keldeo is we have a Scavalier at home. But the Ducklets who stole his hat or whatever, catch one of them. Possibly. I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember a lot of Black and White, if only because I repressed most of it. I'm not doing it for fuck Unfazant. God damn, I hate Unfazant, man. I'm sorry. Stoutland's way cooler than Unfazant. Durant could be cool. It doesn't have that same power that I'm looking for, but it could be cool. What am I looking at for the team wise? Caracosta. This could just be a situation where he doesn't have a water type, if I'm being honest. I didn't include a fire type on one of his teams. This might just be the water types have to sit out, because I don't like Caracosta. I'm not the hugest fan of what it is. I'm not giving Ash Bravier because I gave his official rival of the Black and White anime, Black or Hilbert, in it. Or possibly Hilda. Someone pointed out that I could use Hilda for it, and I don't know. Hilda over Hilbert is kind of based. That is a thing. It's so lame, Meowth Games. It is so lame. Unfazant is so lame, man. It is the lamest of the birds. Oh my god. At least if Ash got Unfazant, they didn't even give him the cool looking one. This is like the better looking Unfazant. They give him the female version that looks like it's bald noggin you could crack like an egg. Garbodor could be mucked, but maybe. Look, I'm not saying Unfazant is unuseful in games. Hilda, honestly, Hilda as his rival, I don't want to make her traveling companion because I'm going to keep Ash's traveling companions the same for the most. Caracosta I just don't like another fossil Pokemon for Ash. I think having Rampardos be his sole fossil Pokemon is nice. The only other Pokemon is Jellicent, and I feel like I've given Ash a lot of ghost types, which is kind of the only reason why... Okay, hear me out. Hear me out on this idea. This is sort of the Salamence can substitute as a fire type deal. How do we feel about Beartick? Okay, Meowth Games, I can figure that. You know what? Respect to you, respect to Unfazant. I will respect Unfazant solely for Meowth Games. I'll say that. Caracosta could be replaced by male Frillish, preventing could be a rival of Jessie Femon. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in love with Jellicent as a pick. It's kind of one of those things where it's things. Golurk is cool. I do like Golurk, but there's some things I want to do. I mean, Beartick can learn Surf. It can learn water moves. I think that's kind of cool. I think it kind of fits with Ash's Bruiser battle style, maybe? Like, I think it's a cool option. I like it better than Caracosta. It's something I never really thought about because I was solely in the focus of water types. And so let me go actually over a few reasons here. I'd consider Swanna. I consider Swanna. I won't say anything either or, but I'll consider Swanna. I will look into it and see how I feel in my heart of hearts. At my moment, I would say no. But for you guys, I've seen a lot of Swanna comments. I've seen a lot of Ducklet comments. In my heart of hearts, I will look into it for you guys. Yeah, I might. I mean, I think including Sharon and Bianca. Well, Bianca's already included. Georgia does have a Beartick, but I mean, who cares? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I treat Black and White rivals as whatever. Nope, I accidentally hit a button. I know Georgia has one, but like sort of like, I mean, Georgia's so far removed from Ash that I don't care enough, and I could just make her main Pokemon Cryogonal. You know, Cryogonal feels like it'd be cooler, if only because it has Sheer Cold. Remember the Beartick from Journeys? You could probably have that as Beartick. Yes, true. Stoutland, Whimsicott, Toad. I could bring back Seismitoad. I actually could bring back Seismitoad. I would not mind bringing back Seismitoad. I don't care about Stefan. I think he's whatever. I mean, here's the thing. No one in black and white is bad. I'm being hateful on purpose. If he keeps Stoutland, then keeps wrong. Also a good point. Yeah. Swan has an L, which feels work as an icon. Man, you guys are actually kind of selling me on Swanna. You guys are actually kind of selling me on Swanna. Curl Blitz, that is a cool thing as well. That is a cool thing as well. Yeah, but, I mean, here's the thing. That's kind of why I'm like possibly Seismitoad. But I don't know. The Swanna pick is kind of hitting a little. Okay. And here's the thing. Well, I am against. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. None of this is final. All three of these are options. I think I will go Superior over Whimsicott. I think I will lock in Superior as my grass type. Actually, you know, I'm gonna keep Whimsicott there just in case. I'm gonna think about it in my heart of hearts. It's gonna be a while. Okay, actually, here's a question. I'm gonna do another poll. We're gonna do another poll. Beartic, Stoutland, because I think both could fulfill the same role. I'm trying to stick to possibly, if I do change a Pokemon that is Ash's, it's one Pokemon per official team and never the aces. But, it's never the aces. I'm sorry, I'm in my thoughts. If I pick, so Palpitoad on Ash's team is such a nothing Pokemon that I don't feel bad about reusing it, you know? The only reason I didn't do it in the original series is because it broke my rule, but I'm not against it. Yeah, Apoka, you are right in that regard. I think it does come down to a little bit of personality, if we may. How are we doing on this poll? We are leaning more towards Beartic. One reason I did give him Stoutland is because as an early route Pokemon you get, because it's like I like making sure he has a Pokemon he can get early on into the region without it feeling like I purposely inserted there. Zoroark, funny enough, was a Pokemon I consider. No one brought up Zoroark, but people brought it up before. Palpito does feel like Beta Ninja. That is true. It is a frog. He already got a frog. Doesn't mean he can't have multiple frogs, but they do different things. So I just wanted to talk about this Zoroark real fast. I battled with myself about Zoroark. I considered giving him just a Zora. I can consider it a Zoroark. It was the internal struggle of my life when I was making that video. Rising Bolt. Yeah, nothing's official. I really like Stoutland. I don't like it. Like, I think I like it more than Beartic when it comes to just if I had to choose between the two for the team. I could almost see Seismitoad kind of acting like an old sage. That'd be kind of funny, like smoking on a pipe. Zoroark's not joining the team, by the way. I'm just talking about it. Because if N's in the story, guess who Zoroark goes to? N. You as a writer could really make Pokemon. Yeah, no, I think Palpito could be amazing. Could you, instead of Gust, I can learn via tutor. I'm assuming like Purple Gust. Yeah, totally. Yeah, all the moves. So I'll go over moves in the show as I talk about it. Could be sort of a tug of war when it comes to leader, team with Scavalier. Yeah, definitely. If like Superior would definitely be Team Mom. Zoroark just, you know what's funny? I know we had the movie with him, but it's just Zoroark also just feels like it feels almost too dark for Ash. It's the Sneasel vibes. Like I just don't think dark types really fit Ash on a like naughty level like that. Like Sableye feels more mischievous. Zoroark feels like it has some more malice to it. And I feel like if you include a Zoroark they all have the same personality as every other dark type. Like, it's the mischievous prankster, you know. I'm really leaning down on my chair. I'm not, I think, here's the thing. In my heart of hearts right now, I definitely keep Stoutland over Beartick, by the way. Control. I'm not going to say anything about when it comes to legendaries. We'll discuss that at a later date, Meowth Games. Actually, we won't, because that will be for the video. This is merely team speculation, because I wanted to run ideas by you guys. Yeah, oh yeah. Superior would definitely have that tough love approach. I just didn't think Lucius Turtle and see as a yeah, exactly, Castform 7. I think it works as like so many other things other than just Ash's you know, as an Ash Pokemon. I think it's cool as an Ash Pokemon, but it has kind of a Dragonite feeling. Well, he did catch a Dragonite, but like why was Stoutland over Beartick though? Early route encounter. I think Stoutland's personality, I've given it, works better on it than it does on Beartick. I mean, Georgia, I know I said who cares about Georgia, but it is her ace, so there is that. You know, multiple reasons going into it. And also, I think Stoutland's the GOAT. I really think it's just one of the best early route Pokemons ever made in terms of just usability. Every other early route Pokemon usually falls off. Stoutland does not. Stoutland you can use through the entire game. And it's one thing I really appreciate about that. Where it didn't have any dark types because it was just evil type in general. Exactly. Even then, Greninja's a dark type, but like it's not a dark Pokemon. Okay, let's go on to Kalos. Looks like Sawyer's getting his entire team back, if I'm being honest. Almost his entire team. We're keeping Slurpuff. I've never been crazy about Ash's X and Y team. I've never nothing against it, but I've never been in love with it. Amen. Sorry, I'm going over the chat. That feels like the reason Ash doesn't usually buy its Grindel never. Yeah. Ash had Scraggy, but like again, Scraggy's a punk. It's not like vicious. Lockstin / Noggin makes a great video explaining the dark type and why certain Pokemon are dark type, but it's not because they're like inherently evil. It's because of the vicious things they do. Like, you know, and also like a Scrafty is like primarily a don't make a liar out of me. No, it's primarily a dark type. Never mind. But they're punks. They're not meant to be like things. They're like meant to be punks, not malicious. Like Sableye, I could make malicious, but I can also make it thing. Yeah, not every region needs a water type. That's also a thing. That's also why I don't. So this slot also could go to something else. Is there anything else on this list that I'm interested in for Ash's? You know, I did have a lot of options. Crazy Kalos. I do like Pangoro, but I do like it with Champion, whatever her face is, more. Because Lumia's trainer Zach, a long time ago, when he did his version of Kalos, he included it as her bodyguard, and I just love that idea. And it just fits perfectly. Scolipede, I like for Ash. That is true. That is cool, Curlblitz. Not every region needs water type. I'm just doing an initial last look just to see if there's anything that interests me. Kalos is definitely sat for options. All right, cool. We're good. I mean, there's stuff I could include, but I'm splitting hairs. You're gone. You're gone, buddy. You may be gone, buddy. You're on tough watch, buddy. First I gotta do the team. Grand Ninja. Bring back the bat. Noivern deserve justice. Halucha. Mucha halucha. Mucha halucha. Mucha halucha. It's a way of life. No, I'm looking up Ash. Yeah, I understand my friend. Yeah, I mean, like, Greninja being a hero, I mean, here's like, it's a dark type because it's a ninja. It's not because it's actually malicious. I'm going to give it, if I give Ash Night Slash, it's because I want to. It's because it's called Night Slash. I'm not going to give it, I don't care what it's called in Japan because we're not speaking this in Japanese. Okay, I'm just going over making sure. Talonflame, that's who I'm missing. Let's look at a Boulder. I forgot about that. Those U3. Why is it just U3? Oh, Gudra and Greninja got. Okay. Let's talk about who's not making it back. Bam, bam, bam. Of them, Noivern is the only one I'm kind of considering. He did, but I don't like giving Ash shinies for no reason. I'm not even a fan of, like, honestly, I'm so desensitized to Ash getting a, what's its face? A shiny Noctowl that I don't really even think of it as shiny most of the time. I'd love to give him Heliolisk, even though it's that. Like, you guys can see my struggle now when I was creating this list. I'm not going to even time ranch him because I gave it to Bonnie. Right, so Greninja's coming back. That's the first thing on the deal. So suspect here is Chestnut. Now, actually, if I do grave Greninja, I can't give him Chestnut. I can't. Because I give whoever Ash doesn't get the opposite, I give that to Alon. So Alon's going to have Chestnut now, which is funny. I like Slurpuff over Sylveon for Quiznos. I like it because I did give Diantha Noivern though, and I like it on her team. I'm gonna write some options. Go-Goat is one, I feel like people include Go-Goat, but no one ever really goes into its personality, so if I give it a good personality, it can work. Yeah, Alana's Chestnut in the anime anyway, so I don't really care too much. I'm not really a fan of the shiny Phantom, if I'm being honest. I've never been in love with it. I'm not in love with Trevenant as a Pokemon for Ash. Oh, we're still getting that Gallade fighting arc. Don't you worry. I won't. I don't have to Quiznos. I don't have to. I'm not gonna get. I'm not a fan of giving Ash legendaries or legendary / mythicals. There's a difference. I'm a very big on the difference between the two. I don't know. Aurorus isn't bad. Aegislash is used by his rival. That's the only reason I don't give it to him, and because it's I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about it for Ash. Like, here's the thing. This is sort of one of those things where I feel like it's a popular Pokemon that people love, so people want to slap it on Ash, but I don't think it fits Ash. That's my thing, you know. Aurorus is an option. Again, yeah, T-Bolt, you do have a point. Noivern is great for Ash's team. I'm gonna put these three. AZ Floette I gave to Serena. Type-wise, it's not great. Aurorus is not great. But who cares about types in the anime? Klefki I actually gave to, I think, James. I think I gave James Klefki. You know what? Let's actually go check. Really should make sure. Almost. I'm in incognito mode now. Almost don't want to do my channel. Team Rocket. Oh, right. I have ads. Hopefully I get revenue from that. What did I give James? Inkay, Klefki. Yeah, I gave him Klefki and I Phantom. I like these three for James. I would not give Ash him. Catching Mohawk with Mega from Gens 1 through 5. Noivern being a Lawnmon. I like Noivern. If the only person I gave Noivern to, I don't like. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a fan of Aegislash as an Alon or as a Ashmon. I don't really see it. I think the want for Aegislash comes from popularity bias. Same thing with Trevenant. I just don't think Trevenant fits Ash. We give Furfrou doesn't feel good enough. I think these are contenders. Aurorus is a tentative one. Okay. I don't like giving fossil Pokemon to Ash. I'm leaning towards Noivern at the moment. If you guys want to know my thoughts, Noivern, Go-Goat. Go-Goat's a good runner-up. Yeah, that's Stegosaurus. He's the boy. We got Tyrannosaurus, T-Rex. We got Triceratops, and then we got my friend Tobin, short-tempered. His mascot plush is back there. The only reason I'm not giving Ash a Mega now is because he's going to learn about Mega Evolution with Gallade in Journeys, and also Greninja is supposed to act as his Mega. That's the reason why I don't give him a Mega. And Mega requires such a bond with your Pokemon that I feel like it has to be your main Pokemon, your main focus, your ace. So that's why that. Noivern I'm leaning towards. If only because it has the Palpitoad problem of Noivern just didn't get to do a lot. Noivern just got really shafted in the NOA. That I don't feel bad about. And I can always give Aurorus to what's her face? Diantha. Did I give Diantha Aurorus? What the hell did I give Diantha? Go-Goat, I'm also leaning towards. I'm not saying necessarily no on Go-Goat. I know I didn't bring it up in that conversation, but Go-Goat is a solid Ash Pokemon and stuff. By the way, is the music playing for you guys? I forgot to ask that. Like, if it needs to be louder, I can make it louder. It's lo-fi on in the background. What am I like? Masters 8 redone. Come on, skip ads. Show me my amazing video. So fun fact, the reason why these are not colored is because I'm lazy. And I figured out I could just do this and get away with it. And I did. After like chip 6. Yeah, Noivern got done in an egg, and then it just got raised up fine. All right, cool. Just double checking. It just kind of popped in my brain. I'm looking for Diantha, who I made the third strongest. I did not give her Aurorus. That's a shame. Aurorus, actually, I think Aurorus would really fit this team, even though she has an Aurorus in the game. So, you know what? Maybe Noivern is looking a little better. Go-Goat is still up on that radar. I got to analyze both. It's about... Because here's the thing. Why these teams are so tentative is because I should have monetized this stream. Holy shit. The amount of viewers I got. If we were to get Sinnoh, is there a chance he brought back Kalos to Mega Lucario? Or just... Yeah, I could definitely see that in a concerned viewer. I could see Ash definitely bringing back... He brought back Bulbasaur to interact with May's Bulbasaur, so I don't see why he wouldn't bring back Lucario to show... Like, I think him helping out Karina with Lucario would be pretty sick. And also really showing off Ash learning more about Aura, especially if he learned a lot about Aura in Sinnoh. And, I mean, I don't know how he'd learn about Aura in Sinnoh. That'd be fucking... Would it be crazy if Ash learned about Aura in Sinnoh and got, like... You know, did some stuff with it? That should be weird. Anyways, okay, we need so Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos. Love Meowstic Male on this team. Goddamn, I really do. It's just such a quiet little guy, and then it's yeah, No, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. No, I know about Riley. Here's the thing. The only reason I'm leaning against Auroras now is because of Diantha, because it has the diamond patterns on it, and that kind of fits with the Diancie I gave Diantha. So I think that's pretty baller. Ash is the Alola squad. Ash's best team. We got Lycanroc. We have Incineroar. We have would it be crazy if the Lucario Mystery movie was canon, guys? Wouldn't it be crazy if the movies were canon to the anime? That'd be a sick story idea. Just fucking woo. Let's see. Yeah, that'd be a fun. Honestly, Nebia, that's a great point. I like that. No, I need Rowlet, the goat. I'm getting this. Don't worry. It's Metal and friggin' I know its name. It's the friggin' Ultra Beast. Poipole, which evolves into. I'm gonna get it. Naganadale. Thank you. I got it. Well, I don't like you, Rising Voltage, if you hate Salazzle. No, I'm kidding. Correct takes, huh? Best team. Okay. So, as we can see here, there's not a lot of options. And I'm not giving them Jangmo-O. So, anyone who thinks that, we're not doing that. I like Marshadow, and I think we're keeping that. I think the Marshadow does not get enough representation. He's just a cool, goofy little guy. He comes with his own custom Z move, and I think he's neat. I just think he's neat. And he fills the Melmetal void. We're there. Look, Melmetal and Marshadow are mythical, but they don't necessarily mean they're, like, legendary. I can have, like, I mean, I could easily throw the Dust form, Deshaun to, I could easily throw that to How. Like, I'm going to make How have a bigger role in the team, so he could easily have the other thing. But I'm not against Lycanroc coming back, but only one of the, so you two aren't coming back. If Rowlet comes back, I'd feel like I'd have to evolve him, and I just don't need to. He's still in the story because he's with friggin' Mallow, so he's still that. He's still there. So here's the thing. I've filled up. Okay, well, Greninja, Superior, Typhlosion. I have my 3 starter Pokemon that I kind of bring Ash back with. And all 3, minus Greninja. I don't know what I'll do for Kalos. So Greninja's story is pretty solid. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to change Greninja's story because it's kind of solid. It really is. Like, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Typhlosion's getting a story vamp. Superior is getting a story vamp. Greninja, I don't really know what I'm doing for Kalos. So, it is between this two. Now, Incineroar, I'm heavily considering. And I'm heavily considering it. Do I want... Yes, I want Typhlosion more than I want Incineroar. That's no question about that. And so I'm willing to break my rule here for Incineroar. And that's because Incineroar has a really touching story that, I mean, I can do with Salazzle. But what I can't replicate with Salazzle that I can with Incineroar is his connection to Kukui. And their bond, and the Master Royale, and Torracat trying to grow up and become that Incineroar to face off against Kukui's Incineroar. Torracat versus Incineroar is one of my favorite battles. And, Tangela for Vileplume or Venusaur. No. Tangle is way better than Vileplume for Ash, and I'm not using Bulbasaur. Even though I love Bulbasaur. Arachne rivaling Guzma's Glitzbud? Yeah. And that's the reason why I don't do Glitzbud. I'm not a fan of Buzzball. I like Ash, like, you know, I'm not crazy about it, you know. We good? Oh, we back? Okay, it froze for me again. Are we back? We're back? Okay, we're back. We're good. Okay, it did it twice for me, so I got concerned. If it does it the third time, I'll restart the stream for us. And we're still going to be continuing the stream, by the way. So don't think we're just exiting, you know. What are you doing? Hold on, water. By the way, if you guys like me streaming this, I'm not afraid to do this once a week or something, you know? I'm not afraid to stream more often, because then we could do, I could actually do membership stream stuff. Actually do that stuff. Because I might have to draw a bunch of assets for this, so it wouldn't be against it. Okay, where was I? Okay. So I'm battling with myself. Because I'm a big Salazzle fan. And I don't know, like I've called out earlier, am I including Salazzle because I love Salazzle, or because I feel like it's the best option? I don't necessarily feel like it's the #1 option, but, like, I like Lycanroc's story in the anime. I would consider Lycanroc over Palossand, if I'm being honest. Lycanroc is, like, considered the ace of Alola, so it would kind of have to replace my ace here. I'm not in love with Palossand. I like it well enough, but I think the story I gave it can apply to Lycanroc. Okay, actually, here's another poll. This isn't gonna influence me, but which one of these guys do you like more? I'm not in love with changing one of my aces, because let's see, how many of my aces stay the same? Or at least aren't a official thing. I still would make Espeon the ace of Hoenn, or Johto, I mean. Swampert, you're good. Lucario, that's good. Escavaliers, you're still good. Greninja, I guess you're the first, like, official replacement. Should have 3 counter stars. Nope. Why not both? Because it's just too much. It's too much not original thing. It's just, I know, guys, I'm battling with myself right now against my own biases. But the point of this list is I'm doing something different. This entire point of this list is that you're supposed to come to my channel specifically because you don't see this list on anyone else's channel. You don't see the same 5 Pokemon on everything else. So I don't like Ash with Gliscod, if I'm being honest. It's perfect Guzma Pokemon. I've never seen the appeal. It just seems like popularity for me, if I'm being fully honest. It fits Guzma too well. Plumeria, we don't see her enough for me to give a crap about her also having Salazzle. I just make her Salazzle shiny in my head and don't care. I'm normally against replacing aces. But yeah, like I said, the entire point of this list is to be different, you know? So sometimes that difference is a little thing. Like Drifblim, I think you could easily take this Drifblim off this team and replace it with oh, I don't know, Staraptor or something. You could take Sableye out and replace it with Glalie or Swellow. You know, it's like, possibly Kerblitz. The only reason I don't do that, Monsoon, I don't start off Chimchar Sweet, is because I don't want to make Paul a monster. Like, Paul's harsh. And the entire point of him is that he has these harsh training methods that are real. Like, here's the thing. If you notice that Paul... Let's talk about Paul for a bit. I love Paul. Favorite rival. Paul is... Paul is... an asshole. But... Is that... But, like... But if you look at all of Paul's Pokemon, they all stick with him. None of them feel, like, beaten down. Like, Chimchar was the first Pokemon that feels beaten down on Paul's team. But I think it's because the reason why Chimchar doesn't work, it doesn't fit. It didn't need... Paul's training methods don't work for Chimchar. He needed Ash. He needed specifically Ash's love and support to reach that potential. Paul's Pokemon, like... His Torterra disobeys him, and we have this cool moment where Torterra goes and teaches Ash's growl and comes back, and Paul's just like, whatever. And so, and Torterra is so underutilized on Paul's team. Holy shit. Their bond is so good, and we never see more of it, even though I feel like it acts as sort of Paul's moral conscience. Yeah, he's the anti-Ash Ketchum. So him starting... So, while we did see... I mean, here's the thing. What Paul was doing with Chimchar, where he was blasting with attacks and hoping in Chimchar withstand it, I mean, I feel like we've seen Ash do something similar or something, but it's framed in a different light because it's poor Chimchar pushing him to the limit. You know, of a limit past it, and Chimchar just doesn't fit the mold. The rest of Paul's team fucking work with him. None of them seem bad. Elekid's an asshole, and he still sticks with Paul. Like, they all seem they fit Paul. Like, I don't... So, Chimchar's just the lone wolf out there. So, if I make Chimchar sweet and kind and like how he was in the anime, Paul goes from a trainer with a different training method of Ash that doesn't work for like the original Chimchar to a sociopath monster who abuses Pokemon. Because Paul's method... I don't consider Paul's methods wrong. I don't. I think they're just different. I think Ash's doesn't take training seriously enough at some points, and Paul takes it too seriously at points. Yeah. So don't worry, Monster. And by the way, that you're not wrong. That is a good idea. I like that idea in a story sense. Like if I was writing a story, I like that. But if for what the anime is, it's not. It's a bridge too far. I would do that, but I actually have Silver in the anime Quiznos, and I do give him a Golbat. So it's like the Silver mode with the Golbat happens. Okay, I think this is I think any Alolan Pokemon. Xurkitree I would love for Ash. I just don't think it fits. You know, I just don't like. I can't give him another electric type. But Gearna would be pretty funny to give Ash, but I think Salazzle is separate. Zeraora would be great to give Ash. It's just, you know. Naganadale really fits, but honestly, I like Cortana. I do. Where is it? Wait. Okay, actually, here's a question. Salazzle or Alolan Marowak? I know. Maybe. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's an option. I mean, I've never really seen the appeal for Passimian for Ash. I think it's the people like monkey Pokemon for Ash. I'm personally not too fan of it, you know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I can replicate Incineroar's arc with a Salazzle, but I don't think I can do it with a Alolan Marowak. I want to give him Kiawe's. The only reason I don't mind not giving him an Alolan form, guys, by the way, is because he has so many companions and they all have Alolan Pokemon. Like, I gave a Lily Alolan Sandshrew. I gave, Kiawe has Alolan or Marowak. So Alolan Pokemon are shown. So I don't have Silver competing in the league because he's so focused on Team Rocket and that's his involvement story. But I do know who defeats Ash in the league. I just won't reveal it now because it's a spoiler. All right, for now we're gonna do this. I might consider Incineroar. But I might not even do Lycanroc. I'm gonna be honest. I think I don't want to go against what the ATR represents, which is being different than every other list and not just having Ash's highlights. The reason I did this is did this list is to get rid of Pokemon I don't think fits, and I just think like Buizel. I want Buizel over Grassdron. Simple as that, you know. Certain Pokemon like Greninja over Chestnut. Okay, so next we have the final team. It's not here because I didn't originally do a Journeys team, and then I kept getting comments about, or I didn't keep getting comments, but I got comments about Journeys teams. Ash Teams, Ash's Journey. Are you the Journey? No, you're the original deck. That's the second script. I know it says Journeys right there, but usually I have a... Oh, hey, okay, I just included the script here. Lucario can learn Water Pulse like Weasel. That's pretty sick. Possibly. Possibly, I can't read your name. I'm so sorry. I possibly will give Ash Incineroar instead of Palutena. So, you know, just for you guys, I'm going to, just so you know, I won't forget, Salazzle / Incineroar. I know I spelled it wrong. Alola Dex, I'm doing a last minute check just before we move on. I'm going to do a last minute check here to see if there's anyone I am considering, and like I expected, no. Again, Alola is very small. You know, it does not have a lot of options. That is the main reason why it's kind of a weird team, you know. It's the only reason I like Lycanroc more than I like Palossand. I just the only reason I just do Palossand is because I just don't want to have the same when I do my ace lineup of Ash's Pokemon. I don't want to have the same Pokemon. The Leon killing team. Here are the boys. And girl. Volcarona's a girl. I love this team. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's anyone on this team I would actually change. I'm not, you know, it's a little arrogant. I just, you know, I don't think I think it matches up incredibly well with the team I gave Leon. I like it. And I don't think there's anyone on Ash's. I'll write down his. Let's go down the list. Just fair, because I gave one else a fair shot. Delmice might be a cool option. I'm be honest. I think my Journeys team is perfect for Ash. I think it perfectly hit all the beats I wanted to in a Journeys team, especially in the points of the journey that he goes across. I especially like Little Crying Sobble and Little Crying Ralts together. The only reason I do 2 fighting types is he had 2 fighting types. He had Lucario and he had Sirfetch'd. So I don't really see, you know, it's kind of a fun homage. Me too, Monsoon, but people like a Journeys team, and honestly, I like the team specifically built to take on Leon because Leon knows all of Ash's Pokemon and can study all his previous matches, so he knows what to expect. So if Ash builds this team specifically to take down Leon, and I understand, by the way, Phalanx is the what's up, Aurelia Goomba, honestly, we just started streaming again. I'm gonna be honest. I think we're gonna be doing this once a week. I like this. I don't know what we'll be doing once a week. I did plan to play some Pokemon Yellow Legacy on stream or some Pokemon Crystal Legacy. I'm a big fan of those games. If you haven't checked out the YouTuber who does those are really fun. I'm currently watching him redesign Emerald on streams and all that, and they're so good. So maybe we'll do some video games or something like that. But you know. Who am I forgetting? It's Dracovish and Surfetch. I've never been a fan of Dracovish, and I feel like Surfetch got shafted. Surfetch showed his time to shine, but I like him better as a Leon Pokemon. So, and Lucario's gone. Gengar. I think Gengar really, you should have just done Tyranitar in the anime. It's the same thing. It's a Suedo from the early region, but this could be the Tyranitar, the Larvitar Ash transferred, you know, or helped get there. And Gengar might be on his Kanto team. So, but you know what? We'll do a fair shake down the list. I'm not in love with the Hisuian Pokemon for Ash, if only because Hisuian kind of, but like, if only because, like, it feels to me the reason why the Hisuian Pokemon are around is because they went extinct, you know? And I feel like I would have to come with, yes, I say it weird. I know, Delta Knight. It's pseudo, but, you know. Wait, was I saying pseudo or Suedo? Whatever. I say it either or. Don't judge me. Even then, I don't think there's any of the freaking Pokemon here I really like for Ash. I mean, Sneasler, no. Overqwil, no. Basculegion, no. It's really between you three and... I'm not really... I mean, the fossil Pokemon are extinct, but they're brought back through a process. You know, there's a way to explain why the fossil Pokemon are in modern day. I have to come up with some BS of why the Hisuian Pokemon are back. Why isn't Hisuian Arcanine on here? But regardless, I'm not a fan of it either. I was calling, I was calling Dragonite a Suedo. Go has Scizor. Yeah. I say Arcanine is Zoroark. Yeah, why isn't Zoroark on this list either? What the hell? Pokemon DB, you fucking lying bastards. I forgot feelings. I've always been sort of against ashing Pokemon that are multiples, like Dugtrio. I'm a fan of it just for the sake of, I think it's interesting, and I think the anime unique battles you'd get from a Phalanx is pretty cool. But, space-time distortion, yeah, I guess. You know, I don't know. I'm just not in love with it. I like keeping them in the past, you know. Maybe there's time travel shenanigans. Who knows? I would love to give Ash a Hydrapple. I think a Hydrapple would be pretty awesome, but it doesn't come till later. It's fine. I'm not considering a lot of regional. I feel like Flapple fits Ash more, though I did give Go the Flapple. Appleton just doesn't feel ready to battle, but I like Hydrapple for Ash more than I like those. But it doesn't come out in time, which is a bummer. Oh, damn you. Later generations. Berserker would be pretty funny. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to stick to it. It's sort of like, it has the same feeling. Giving him Hydrapple now feels like giving him it's like giving him modern day Pokemon moves on his Gen 1 team, you know, because I'm trying to write this from the perspective of the other stuff you out. Give Ash Urshifu that Leon doesn't have. I give Go the Urshifu Leon doesn't have, and I'm not a fan of Ash with Urshifu. If I'm not crazy about it. Also because I like Mega, because if Urshifu's there, it feels like it has to be the ace, and I like Mega Glade more than I like it. Phalanx does a good job, but it doesn't pull focus, which I appreciate. Grapploct is a E Pokemon, whatever face is. Yeah, I could do Corviknight maybe. Yeah, no one on this list I'm absolutely over the moon for. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not really considering the Hisuian Pokemon anyway, so it's fine. My list is perfect and I'm infallible. Sure, Aurelia Goomba, hit me. If I just love all these Pokemon choices. I don't know why. It's funny enough, I did not want to make a Journeys team for the life of me. And then I just got comments that people are like, they loved my list, but they were just a little bummed they didn't get Journeys. No one was mean about it too. Like no one was like, oh, what the fuck is Journeys? You know, a lot of people want the aces to come back, but I was like, wow, I love this more than having all his aces come back to fight Leon. If only because having all the aces come back to fight respective Master Zeta opponents gives them times to shine. It means they won't have to get shafted and take a dive in a battle against Leon, who's monstrously overpowered to the point of ridiculousness. The point of disbelief that Ash could beat him. Instead of normally evolving Ash's Farfetch with I could do that, Jabir. I could give that. I could see that happening. Make Rinto look like a. I'll make Rinto look like a more of a Surfetch. And with all this all around, I'm favorite over the home team. Yeah, I think overall, I think of the Pokemon list I made for the teams, I think I nailed Hoenn the best. I think that one. Johto is a good runner up. I think Houndoom. Possibility, Aurelia Goomba. Possibility. Choosing a trainer from Paldea into Journeys like the likes from Black White using Go-Go. Maybe. It depends. I haven't really given much thought to Paldea, if I'm being honest. It's just because that's such a Horizons thing. And I haven't watched Horizons because at the end of the first episode, a Charizard appears and I got mad and I shut it off. Even though it's really good. I gotta watch it. I'm just being childish. I'm just not a Charizard. That's how much I don't like Charizard, guys. I saw it and I was just like, and I just went, why aren't you Armor Rouge? And I shut off my screen. But I have some ideas of like doing some hypothesis of maybe if Ash appeared in Paldea or something. Yeah, I know there's ways to evolve the Hisuian Pokemon. I know. I don't know. I've just never been. I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm fine with them appearing. I like the idea of Ash or of Dawn's Cyndaquil evolving into Hisuian type Lotion. Always liked that idea. I'm just never. I don't know. None of these guys, including the variants, I'm not crazy for. Certified. Yeah. Certified Charizard hater. It will go on my gravestone. Dollywop lived a long, good life in a chair. Mostly hated Charizard. Maybe one day, maybe one stream, I'll just rant about Charizard for old time's sake, and everyone who doesn't like Charizard can unsubscribe for me because they'll hate me for that. Yeah, Johto anime is gonna get revamped completely when I do this list. Certified Stealth Rock fan? Yep, and I played Bug Monotype back in my Smogon days. So Stealth Rock was my worst enemy. Talonflame was my worst enemy for a while. Blastoise, Venusaur. All the way. Bulbasaur since day one. Stealth Rock's every team. I think I'm actually just going to have Ash carry a rock, and he's going to chuck it at Charizard whenever he sees him. That's going to be the story. Just Ash pegging, him right in the head. Yeah, you guys will we'll go over my origin story. Well, actually, so we'll play it real fast. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but I did make a back when I was in my animation days. I still do a little animation. I don't do a lot especially for the channel. So one of my favorite little crappy animations I ever made. Was made 4 years ago. Let me make sure my volume's up for this. This is my favorite video, one of my favorites I've made.
Oh boy, we here at Nintendo are proud to present a new Gigantamax form for all you lovely fans. It's another one for Charizard!
It's bad. It's so bad.
Calm down, you guys will love this. We really captured his essence in this next form. Drum roll, please. Get it? 'Cause he's trash. Got him.
So childish. So bad. It sounds like I still was. That was 4 years ago. I'm 26. I was 22 back then. I didn't sound like I went through puberty. I am going to do Charizard justice in the anime or in my story, because Richie's going to have one, and Richie's Charizard will be a badass. Yeah, if you go on my channel, there's all sorts of crappy old animations on there of just me attempting to be an animation channel in modern day, and that doesn't work, especially when I didn't know how to animate, so I just was winging it. My God. So bad. I think Quiznos, I think Blastoise and Charizard were Blastoise and Venusaur getting Gigantamax forms was part of the plan. It was the same reason. It was the same way Blaziken got its form first, and then there was a Blaziken got its form first, and then Sceptile and Swampert got its forms after. And I don't think Blaziken is even more popular than those two, which is funny. No. It didn't even look like Charizard at all. Yeah. Remade tried to look like a badass wizard. I don't know about that. But oh boy. Well, we've gone over the list here. I've gone over some ideas. I've been able to spot some things for you guys. But Van, that was unfair. Yeah, Blaziken, I don't see why Blaziken got more love over the other two. I mean, it's not like, honestly, it's really hard to, I mean, to say Blaziken got more love is kind of a lie in my mind. I think it was hype for the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire remakes, you know? I don't think Blaziken got more love even in the anime too. That's what's funny. I mean, it had that special thing with the Blaziken man, but yeah. Quiznos, I would actually raise you that between gens 1 through 4, or through 1 through 4, there's no bad choices. I might dislike Charizard, but that doesn't mean it's not a good Pokemon. My reasons for hate are, like, I can look from an outside perspective and understand Charizard is a very well-designed Pokemon, and the love for it is very well-earned. A little overloved, but, like, when I think there's much cooler Pokemon, but, like, it's not like I'm blind to the reasons people do love Charizard. I think the Sinnoh trio is probably equally well-loved in terms of things. Piplup is amazingly popular. Like, more popular than I realized. Like, I'm a fan of evolving Pokemon, and I still wouldn't evolve Dawn's Piplup. Oh, jeez. Burping. But I think with this, this is a good stopping point. We've kind of gone over the teams. Maybe next week or something, I'll do a little stream again, and we'll, you know, I don't know what we'll go over. Maybe we'll go over some more writing things. If you guys have little writing ideas or video ideas or little team ideas, stuff like that, we could do that. I'll probably play I'll play some games or something. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. I didn't imagine to get this many viewers. I'll probably set up memberships next time. Maybe try and make some custom emotes. I don't know. We'll see how we do. This is my first streams in a long time, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not even sure if it'll be Thursday of next week, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, I just want to thank you all for watching. This has been very good, and I'll see you all later.